Yeah, facts. Yo, my music teacher from high school, if you hear this, you're a bitch. Hey, yo,
Yo,
okay.
bro, boys, hope you guys are doing great. Welcome to stream. What's up, Geo? Hope you're doing good. Alright, what's up, Chrome? Hope you're doing great as well. Welcome to stream, Sam, Navy. Hope you guys are doing good. Watching more Monk S stuff? We'll see. We'll see. I have one Monk S thing in mind, which we can jump into like immediately.
Just rob a bank.
Like actually prepared for a just chatting stream. Imagine watching Curry is not sure, dude. Sure, dude. Alright, so we have this, which is kind of interesting. The video, I thought it would be an interesting video at the very least. I haven't watched it myself, so there's this. We have this, as well as Asman reacting to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard fucking memes, so we'll watch that as well. Depending on the mood after that. Amber Heard case, we could, but I don't know what I want to watch. Because I know I can't watch Asman Gold videos the entirety of the stream. But what's the techno with the stream as well? Are we doing good? Yeah, so we have memes. And we want to watch the case beyond that, we can. Because in all honesty, there's not that much going on. There's stupid shit. But I think the last time stupid shit happened was a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. Anyway, here we are. We watched this. The case of Martin Bryant dreading. This is a channel we watched the other day. We had a pretty monk-esque 20 minutes, but this video is 50 minutes. So we'll see. So what's up, Eve? Welcome to stream. Hope you're doing great. Welcome in. What's up, Falcon? Welcome in as well. Alright, let's watch this vibe.
Hindsight is 2020. Generally, when
Hope the
thinking
audio is
about
good and all
mistakes
that.
we have made in our lives,
I mean,
it's
I'm obviously going to
obvious
be much
us
louder.
where things went wrong. Decisions that once seemed like a good idea or a better choice at the time now seem like obvious mistakes. Emails asking
Also,
you
oh
to send
shit.
over your bank
You guys
account
can see all my
information
tabs
because you
open.
had won $1
It's fine.
million
It's all good.
now read
What
as
this?
clear scam.
So this is a channel we found the other day where they just bring up random cases of like random people who have done some pretty monk-esque shit. We watched one the other day of some girl who was messed up, some other dude who was messed up, and the messed up dude found the messed up girl and then he killed her. And that video was dragged on for like 20 minutes and it was like a whole thing. It was interesting to listen to at the very least because you could like pick out a lot of like points from it that you can actually see in day-to-day life like most people. So you can like attribute all of it to red flags. So basically then the Monkcast channel, yeah, basically. So the channel's called Dreading. They have like I think like 20 videos. Like even JCS, the JCS or Crime and Psychology channel also basically had like 8 videos itself. Have your thumbs up, bro? Where's your thumbs up, Chrome? How do you not have the thumbs up?
And
Jesus.
people you once
Mod
put your
poll
trust
or what do you want to
into
poll?
now appear to
What
be
do you want to
full of
poll?
malice and ill intent.
My thumbs up, bro. I don't know why your thumbs
Using
up doesn't
every
work.
private piece of
Also,
information
what
you
mod poll
gave
do you
them
want, Techno?
against you. It's incredibly easy to look back on your life and see all the mistakes and warning signs that you had
And mods do
previously
some
missed.
poll, I guess. I don't know.
Paths not taken and relationships not pursued. And that is exactly true in today's case. Welcome back to another episode of Dreading. Today we are going to be talking about the case of Martin Bryant, which was requested by Grant Leonard and Jamie Smithlington. This video, like the majority of our backlog, has been copyright claimed due to our use of certain news footage, meaning that I cannot earn money off of it, and any ad placed on the video goes directly to the third party who claimed it.
On mobile, I can't do polls. Oof. Alright, Sam. Wait, Sam's also on mobile. Sam's also on mobile. Well, all my mods can't do shit, and I'm not going to do shit because I'm not a mod. So, unlucky.
Luckily enough, though, we were able to obtain a sponsor for this video.
Yeah, maybe
This
later.
video
If
is
like
brought to
Gromy
you
or
by
someone shows up.
Babbel. In starting this channel, I was at a wasn't world. Time to have you kind of I'm in a double deal. Also serve not. Let us begin.
Man, alright, so he's earning money
Martin
through a
Bryant
sponsor at the very
was
least.
never a
I'm
typical
not.
kid. In reality,
Alright, Techno.
his entire upbringing.
Sure, dude. Refund? Don't refund. Especially not after this. Techno? Why? Alright, let's get this out of the way. Techno? I'm gonna fucking sneeze. But. Alright. Cool.
Was littered
Glad
with
we got that
ominous
out of the
warning
way.
signs and concerns that, in retrospect, obviously foreshadowed his future,
Well, unlucky,
despite the
Nevi.
fact that no one
Unlucky.
seemed to notice. Martin was born in Hobart, Tasmania,
Man,
on
what a weird
May 7th,
looking baby.
1967. He was the first son of Maurice and
Oh,
Carleen
Jesus
Bryant, who
Christ.
would go on to
Right.
have one more child, a little girl named Lindy. Martin struggled to communicate with the world around him from the minute he was born, yet no one seemed to care about his obvious struggle for his first year of his life. Despite apparent evidence that he had difficulty with connection and socializing with others, Carleen adored how laid back he was as a baby. She would go on to talk
Dude,
about
thanks,
what a
Nevi.
blissful baby boy he was, never crying for attention or touch. In fact, he seemed repelled by it, never learning to breastfeed and actually appearing to get upset if he was held. While other
Nice.
mothers would have been worried about their
So he was
child's lack
born a
of
psychopath.
attachment to them, Carleen appeared to prefer it, retrospectively talking about Martin's first year of life as being nothing but joyful. It wouldn't be until he was nearly a year and a half old when Carleen began to notice that her son had a penchant for escaping her care and didn't appear to like her, which was
Oof.
equal parts dangerous and terrifying. Carleen
Oof.
began to feel as if her son specifically didn't like her, but enjoyed others, and his continued attempts to distance himself from her
Man,
was a
Fado.
sign of that. When she was left
Unlucky.
alone with him, she felt as if he wanted his way out to try and get away from
All of
her,
these are
and
psychopaths? What do
once
you
climbed
mean?
out
I
of a
guess so.
window and ran into a field when she had gone to get him water. She became increasingly stressed taking care of him, feeling as if she couldn't take her eyes off of him lest something terrible happened. Going to the bathroom, blowing her nose, or taking a phone call became impossible, because it seemed the moment Martin sensed she had gotten the slightest bit distracted, he would bolt, hiding
Nice.
for hours on end as she tried in vain to find him. It drove her mad. His continued running away became such a concern for Carleen that she eventually elected to
He
put
straight up
Martin on
just
a leash on
hated
their
his mom
porch,
ever since he was
chaining him up
born.
like a dog. She truly felt as if this was the only way to make sure he didn't run away from her, and by that time, she no longer cared about the social and societal implications of putting her kid on a leash. Every day, she would put a makeshift harness on Martin and attach it to their porch, taking special care that the leash was tight enough that he wouldn't be able to take it off.
Bro,
She
just
then would
put the
place his
kid up for
toys on the
adoption, man. The
porch
kid
so
doesn't
he'd
like
have
you.
some form of
Just put him in
entertainment.
foster
She
care.
often sat on the porch with him, still
I
feeling
forgot
as
to pay
though she
attention and
couldn't
reset
really
the way.
keep her
No.
eyes off of him for too long.
All I'm going to
The
say is
harness,
this
she
kid
believed,
hated his
was the
mom
only
ever
thing
since
that
he was
allowed
born.
her to go to the bathroom and shut her eyes for more than 2 seconds when she
And
was
wanted to
his
run every
primary
single time.
caretaker. But it
A
wasn't
leash.
permanent stress
Dude,
relief.
so do you guys not know this? You know, a lot of parents like straight up like keep their kids on leashes. They're like if they run around and they're hyperactive and shit. Because the parents don't know how to like take care of them. So they straight up like tie the babies to like a leash. They tie children up to like a leash. They have like these dog leashes that they put on kids and they walk around with them. Or maybe it's the kid leashes that they put on the dogs, but it could be the other way around. Yeah, it's a thing that happens. A lot of parents just straight up don't know how to like control their kids. So whenever they get hyperactive and start running around, they have leashes on them. It's not something that all parents do. Obviously, most parents are normal. Some parents are fucking incompetent, shouldn't have kids. But there they are. Hey, babies, bro. But what the fuck? Yeah, it's an actual thing. This is an actual thing that people do. It's kind of funny. What Techno? I'm sure you've like, dude. Some of you guys would have seen videos of these. There's no way you guys haven't. My babysitter did. Then my parents kicked her out. Why did you have a leash? Why did she carry a leash with her? Also, why do you have a babysitter, Sam? Why do your parents not take care of you? Like what? Like even if you have like working parents, for the most part, I think when you're a really young kid, at the very least, most families also have like grandparents coming over. And like when I was a kid and my parents were busy, like I was in the US right at the time. So my grandparents like literally flew out from India. They came to the US where we lived, and my grandparents basically took care of me for like the 3 years that I stayed in the US. And then we came to India. I actually haven't seen videos of that. Oh, dude, I've seen that in public. I've seen it in public, so that was there. My mom ran a music school. Oh, all right, all right. I haven't seen. Oof, that's interesting. But yeah, it's a thing that happens. There are parents who put their kids on leashes just to prevent them from running around and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It is what it is.
She had hoped it would be. On at least one occasion, one of their neighbors had
Oh
complained to
shit.
the police,
My grandma's died. My
saying that
dad's
the
parents are not
Bryants
on
had their
good terms.
son
Oof.
chained up like a dog
That's
outside of their
unfortunate.
home.
That's
But
unfortunate.
after a brief visit in which Carleen explained their
Unlucky
situation,
indeed.
the cops found there was no child abuse taking place and left them to their own unique parenting method. Maurice, for his part, thought that Martin was just a bit difficult and would eventually grow out of it. He did what he could to
It is what
placate
it
his
is.
wife, often
But
telling
yeah,
her that everything was
just
fine.
childhood things, I guess.
Martin loved
Not
her,
everyone grew up the
and he'd
same way.
mature past whatever phase this
But
was.
at least your
Martin
parents
was
like
just a
got
bit
a babysitter,
rowdy, he
put a
would
leash
say.
on you for
He
some
also
reason.
took special care to try
I'm surprised your parents didn't set ground rules with. I'm gonna assume it's a her because men in this country cannot take care of children. I mean, unless you're like my dad, I guess. But yeah, he's just a bit difficult. Copom truck. Yep, Copom truck. Video a bit louder. Sure.
and connect with Martin in ways that Carlene
It's
wouldn't.
fine.
He would
You want to
allow
be
Martin
louder.
to talk about whatever he wanted for hours
This
uninterrupted, supported all his passions, and basically became Martin's only real friend. At first, a lot of Martin's
Copom.
behaviors were
Yep,
written
Copom
off
truck.
as just him being a finicky child. However, as he approached his third birthday, it
Fine,
became
cool,
clear
cool.
that something was truly, madly, deeply wrong with
Sure.
him.
All right,
He was
maybe.
not developing the same way other children in the area were, and it became more and more obvious that cognitively he was struggling. Martin also began purposely irritating
Parents with
others
my
around
parents,
him,
goddamn, maybe more
making it a
spoiled,
point to
like way
cause
more.
others mild
Well,
inconveniences and
good shit,
slight
Sam.
harms. Whether or not this was malicious is unknown, as he seemed to be under the impression that everything
I
he
have a
was
case
doing
for
was in
you.
good fun. But it
What do
appeared
you
to
mean?
everyone that Martin just enjoyed being a bother. On one occasion, he chopped down his neighbor's trees
Nice.
simply because he could. On another occasion,
Nice.
he broke
Actually
all of his
based.
toys, leaving them on the ground for his mother to step on in hopes
Great.
she
What
would
about
injure
it? What
herself.
about it,
In
techno?
Carlene's own words, Martin was a frustrating and annoying child. At school, Martin didn't seem to fare any better.
But
He often
tree is
made the other
well
kids
unlucky. Martin
uncomfortable,
cut it down
and at
already.
times seemed to relish in
Case of these
causing them
nuts. Alright,
grief.
dude.
Reports would state that Martin was
It's very
bullied and
fucked, but I think you like it
ostracized by
short,
his
send it.
classmates.
It was him.
However, those
Oof.
same
Yeah, it's probably
classmates
him.
would go on to say that he was always the aggressor, often jumping on them and screaming into their ears. Martin, for what it's worth, would admit to doing this, thinking it
This
was
dude's
fun
most likely
and a
not
great way to
alive.
make friends. When they would recoil and get upset with
He's
him,
most likely
he
not
would begin
alive.
to scream and cry, stating that they had hurt him in some way when it inevitably gained the teacher's attention. It was a chicken or the egg scenario. Martin would claim that he was bullied and picked on by others for being strange, but the other kids would state that he would purposely jump on them and attack them, which caused them to fear and ostracise him. Which one came first,
I have a
we will
feeling
never
I'll
truly
watch
know.
this. Oh,
To his
dude,
peers,
Arcadius.
Martin
I'll
came
watch.
across as a bully.
Bro, this isn't fucked. What are you talking about, Sam? I still really like true crime. Yeah, but this isn't too fucked. Also, I have a feeling I watched it before, but I don't remember, so we can watch it again. Also, oh, yeah, that's not gonna be an issue. Take a look at this. I guess after this.
And teachers felt as if he was purposely being antagonistic.
Lucky, not alive.
Eventually,
Oof,
the
not like
Bryant
this.
family
Not like
took
this,
Martin
maybe.
to a psychiatrist,
God,
who
fuck
almost
people, leave.
immediately
Alright, maybe.
realized that something was, in his words, fundamentally wrong with Martin. He went
Look,
further
walk,
to
have
state
fun, walk,
that
Kenzie.
Martin
I'll
would
catch you.
never
I'll catch
be
you
able
down.
to hold down
There
a
was DJ and
job
was a flash
or
walk.
be a
Over
part
the
of a
stream. Hope you're doing great as
successful,
well.
healthy relationship, simply because he would
To listen to
aggravate
podcast
people
then,
to
it's
such an extent
completely
that he would
unfiltered.
always be in
Yeah,
trouble.
but I
The
can't listen to the
psychiatrist
podcast on
stated
stream.
that talking to Martin
I
was
can't
like
listen to
pulling
the
teeth,
podcast on
given that
stream
Martin would
because
constantly get
that's an entirely
distracted and
different
change
set
the
of content.
subject. When
I'll give you a
asked
link. I
questions
can set
about
on
his
Discord.
life,
I won't watch
Martin
it on stream.
instead focused on the various objects and decor in the man's office, going off on unrelated tangents while the
Answer on stream. Alright.
psychiatrist hopelessly attempted to get him back on focus. His statements at the end were more indicative of his own frustration with the boy and less how he could be helped, which he heavily implied he couldn't be. Martin's distractibility was due in part to his struggles with
Unlucky.
ADHD, but he would
I
go
found my old
undiagnosed for the
MTG
majority
cards
of his
today.
life.
What is
As Martin
MTG?
got older, his behavior
Pause the video.
only
We're gonna talk about
worsened,
it. Oof,
with
my
him
bad.
becoming
My bad.
outright abusive to his sister and her friends. His mother talked about how on various occasions, Lindy would have some of her peers over to hang out, only for Martin to take offense with their presence. He would scream at them to the point where most of her
Dude, if it's going to be small things, I'm going to say every once in a while. I'll say small things every once in a while. Magic the Gathering? Oh shit. Wait, I know you're a. Oh wait, you play League. I should have assumed you're already like a big Magic Gathering fan. But that's pretty cool. Wait, how long have you been playing the game for?
friends refused to come back, scared of what he might do. For her part, Carlene hand-waved this action as just being something that
Yeah,
all
yeah.
young boys do to their sisters in some way. But once again, friends of Lindy would go on to talk about how genuinely afraid of him they were. Teachers described him at this point as distant from reality and completely void of emotion. Gaining
Relatable.
his attention was nearly impossible, and he refused to interact with others in a way that most would deem
Or listen to the case, it's probably one of the biggest examples of how humans can be manipulated. Bro, any cult can do this. Dude, it's not even like a new thing. It's probably not even the biggest example. No, the biggest example is straight up fucking religion. Bro, look at fucking Hinduism, for example. People just doing like random bullshit here. What was Master? I'm playing much. I even forgot I had them, but the Mind Goblin one is like intact and new and nice. That's pretty cool. Well, at least you had the cards, right? I never like knew the cards were a thing. I only found out about Magic Gathering like a few months or like about a year or two ago when I found out there's like an online game as well for Gathering. It was pretty funny. Cultiba, yeah, classic religion. Yeah, but Twitch will nuke you. Nuke me for what? Manson cult? Oh, I'm well aware, dude. I know the Manson thingy. That's like pretty famous. You know which one I'm talking about, right? No. I mean, I know you're talking what Gathering is. I know the card game, but I don't know what Mind Go. I don't know any of the specifics. I've never played the game. I know that it exists. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it, Flashbox. Right? And yeah, that's all I can say about it.
socially acceptable. It was a struggle to gain his attention, but most found that they didn't want to have it in the first place. He also, around this time, began to torture and kill animals, doing so at
Well,
school and in front of other
that's
children.
that's a
At the
murder right
same
there.
time, Maurice, looking to
Mind
bond
Goblin,
with
these
his
nuts. All right,
son, bought
Navy.
him an air
Okay, dude.
rifle. He had hoped that they would connect over shooting clay pigeons. However, Martin didn't care for that in the slightest. Instead, Martin would hide in the bushes along the stretch of the road by his house and shoot at passing cars. He would also use the gun to kill animals, shooting parrots off of the neighbor's tree, and then continuing to shoot them as they lay dying on the ground. Maurice would
Why
later
though,
say that buying the air rifle was a mistake, and one
bro?
of his
That
biggest
is weird. Why want to kill them? No, about the Frog Boys case in Korea? No. There's gonna be another fucking DN joke, Sam.
parenting regrets, but his violent tendencies were not simply
I don't know what this Frog
isolated to
Boys
when
thing
he
is,
used
Sam.
his air rifle. On at least one instance, Martin tried to cause real harm to another student at school in a way that could have easily led to their death.
I
The boy
set
was
this
a year
up for
younger than
you.
Martin
Alright.
and had
I
been
see how it
swimming,
is.
when
I see how it
Martin,
is.
for reasons unknown, pushed the boy further down in the water and took away his snorkel, clearly trying to drown him. Luckily, the boy was able to get away, but it was clear that he had wanted to cause real, lasting harm. Because of that, he was suspended from school for 1 year's time. The
Oof.
next year, he was allowed back at school and apparently showed signs of improving behavior in his class, but was still bullying younger students. Most were afraid of him, as he seemed cold and only seemed to be happy when he was causing injury to others around him. When he eventually graduated and went to high school,
Jesus.
he was placed in the special education.
Bro, this is the most mayonnaise looking dude I've seen in my life. This is literally the most veg mayonnaise looking motherfucker I've seen in my life. Look at this guy. This is the stuff that vegans apply on like, do they eat bread? Do vegans eat bread? Are they allowed to? Probably not, right? I don't think bread is vegan. They'll apply it on something. Maybe they applied on avocado or some shit while they're eating it. I don't know. But yeah, look at this.
Unit, where his grades and behavior would deteriorate rapidly. Maurice tried his best to help his son. He knew that Martin meant well, but simply had a harder time communicating his thoughts and
Only
feelings.
grass from
So
what I
he
know, yeah,
worked hard
basically,
to
right?
make things easier on him.
Wait, these nuts are
Carlene
allowed?
took a
Nah,
more
they're not allowed to eat
hands-off
those,
approach,
obviously.
finding it hard to relate to her son, but ultimately wanting the best for him. Martin and Carlene still had a mostly strained relationship, as it seemed as if they hadn't been able to appropriately bond when he was a child. In 1983, when Martin left school, he was assessed for a disability pension, with a general understanding from those around him that he would be unable to hold a job or support himself.
Oof.
His parents pointed to the first psychiatrist assessment of Martin when he was in middle school, where he stated Martin would never be able to hold down any job. He met with another psychiatrist, this one more equipped to
Damn,
assess.
dude, imagine if in middle school itself, people are just like, yeah, you're not going to get a job in the future. You're straight up just not going to get a job or hold anyone down. That's so jank. Watch long for internet crime on South Korea. Watch along. Wow, how long is it?
Assess Martin's behavior and eccentricities. In his assessment of Bryant, he wrote that he, quote, cannot read or write, does a bit of gardening, and watches TV. Only his parents' efforts prevent further deterioration. Could be schizophrenic, and his parents face a bleak future with him. The assessment made it clear that Bryant would be in no way able to take care of himself in the long term, and any hopes the Bryants had of him moving out or taking care of himself were gone. It would later be
1.5 hours.
determined that
Oh,
Bryant had a
yeah, I guess so.
shockingly
We can do it at some
small
point.
IQ of 66 and was borderline mentally disabled. According to experts, he had the mind of an 11-year-old, trapped in the body of a grown man.
Oof.
After graduating high school, Maurice encouraged Martin to at least
I mean, yeah, I assume you just peaked in school, but he peaked in like a fucked manner, I
try
guess.
to interact with the world. He knew his son had a penchant for
React
gardening,
to this
so
real
he
quick.
pitched the
Flashbacks. I'm not
idea to
reacting to
Martin
anything
that he
until I'm
should
done
try
in
to
this
have his
video.
own lawn
Connect
care
again later.
business. Maurice would pay Martin to take care of their
I want
lawn
to finish
once
this.
a week, and he would help Martin recruit new clients in the neighborhood. It was
Otherwise, it'll just
Maurice's
feel
hope
very
that while Martin would
discontinuous.
never be able
It's
to move
13
out and live
seconds,
on
yeah,
his
but I don't
own,
want it to be
that they could give
discontinuous.
him the tools he would need to be a better, functioning member of society. He worried about what would happen to Martin when he and Carlene could no longer take care of him. It was through this lawn care service that Martin met Helen Mary Elizabeth Harvey, the heiress to the Tattersall's lottery fortune. Helen, like
What?
Martin, seemed to
Alright.
be mentally impaired, but unlike Martin, was incredibly friendly to those she had to interact with. Most knew her to be incredibly reclusive and a bit of a shut-in, and her stately
How did
mansion that she inhabited with her mother had
how did she become friends with like a random kid? I get it. Who is that though? Dude, it's some random guy. I just wanted to like listen to like random cases because I'm interested in all this shit. Because like the minds of very messed up people is always interesting to like look at because a lot of case for you don't know about them already, dude. I don't know like good number of them. Like almost all the ones that we show I just saw on this channel. I've never heard of any of these. All these names are new to me. So like some people are like well known, like the cases became famous and stuff. I assume there's also like a famous case because this is like one of their bigger videos. This is one of their bigger videos, and they put it out recently. So I clicked on this because some of the other ones were they had like much lesser views and stuff. So I'll assume those are not too interesting. But then there's this which had like a large number of views. I'm like, oh, that's more than double the views of like their normal videos. So interesting. I guess I'll click it and check it out. So the last one we checked out was like about like a very different person, right? And that was one that got recommended to me randomly in like the side here. And this one I just like searched after going back to the channel, and I got this. So far, Flashbox, if you weren't following, the guy didn't like his mother. The kid was born a psychopath. That's Justin Bieber, basically. I guess so. He just doesn't have a music career as well. So yeah, this person is someone who wins the lottery or something. I'm not sure how that
fallen
works,
into an intense state
but
of disrepair.
that's what they
Martin
mentioned.
had gone over to the home and offered his services to Harvey, which she readily accepted. Martin became a regular fixture at the home, taking care of the lawn as well as the animals that roamed on the property, which included 14 dogs and over 40 cats.
Wait, what?
Over time, Martin and Helen became friends, finding a sense of understanding in the other that they didn't get from the outside world. Though Helen was kind and rich, she rarely bathed and often wore clothing that was caked in
40? Yeah,
filth.
it's a
The
lot.
animals that had roamed free of her house caused her to smell like manure, and there were times when shop owners would ask her to leave their establishments because it would appear that she had excrement on her. Her hair was often matted, and taking care of herself and her ailing mother appeared to be too much for her.
Oof.
But Martin didn't judge her the way others did. In fact, his own issues seemed to make her feel more or less normal. Martin and Helen began to go out together, and over the next 3
What?
years, they would be seen out and about, going to fancy dinners and buying expensive items that would mostly go unused for the estate, which was still in a
Wait.
dangerous state of
Oh,
disrepair.
lottery.
Martin
Right.
eventually moved out of his
Well, I'll
parents'
come
home
back
and
to
into
something
Helen's,
weird.
which was a feat that no former psychiatrist had thought possible. At the same time, when Martin moved in with Helen, he began sleeping with a live pig in his bed. Why he did this would later become clear, but it was said that because of this, Martin's bed was regularly soiled, and he likewise would smell of pig excrement. The relationship with Martin had come at a cost, though. Helen began to neglect her mother, Hilza. who remained bedbound, with untreated
What
leg
the
ulcers
fuck? Alright.
and a hip that had been broken for no less than 2 years. Prior to meeting Martin, Helen had been doing a
Wait, did he just sleep with the pig like a teddy bear, or like Borat and the goat? Well, like big shit. I'll assume the big shit alone.
decent job of taking care of her mother, although it was nowhere near the level of care she needed. But with the addition of Martin in the home, Helen had all but forgotten her mother and would
Oof.
leave her unattended for days at a time. In June of 1990, 3 years after Martin and Helen had met, someone reported the home and its condition to health authorities, and what they found was a horror show. The entire first floor of the home had been overrun by dogs, and there was feces everywhere. The garage belonged to feral cats, and the stench of cat piss hung heavy in the air. There was mold growing in the kitchen and the bathrooms, and the walls were covered in excrement and dirt.
How did how does anyone live in a home like that for 3 years? That makes no sense. They're very profitable in Stardew Valley, bro. That's not the point, Sam. They should a fair amount. Yeah, pigs,
And the
right?
health inspectors
But that,
were
dude,
shocked at
3 years. How could you live for 3? Dude, alright, you have a big house. You have 40 dogs for some reason, plus cats and other animals. Now your basement is full of cat piss, and now your first floor is full of dog shit. Profit is profit. Cool, unrelated, but
the
cool.
absolute squalor the three chose to live in despite having millions to their name. On the second floor, they found Hilza in her bed, covered in her own urine and feces, with open leg sores festering. Helen was also there, and it was found that she too had untreated leg ulcers that she simply didn't notice. Both women were taken to the hospital for their medical issues, and Hilza would unfortunately pass away a few weeks later. While they were
Honestly.
in the hospital, a cleanup order was put on the home, as it was deemed unhospitable. Maurice and Martin helped with the cleanup. However, after Helen was released from the hospital, it was relayed to her that she wasn't allowed to have any more animals on the property. She decided she no longer wanted to live at the mansion. Despite Martin's own proclivity
Oof.
towards hurting animals, Helen adored them, and she didn't want to live in her home without them. Ultimately, Martin and her decided to move onto a 72-acre farm called Taurusville, 45 minutes away in the small town of Copping. Before moving, Bryant was once again assessed by a psychiatrist for his disability pension, who reported that, quote, Martin's father protects him for any occasion which might upset him, as he continually threatens violence. Martin tells me he would likely go around shooting.
Add 8 dogs and 10 cats, max like normal people. Dude, Chrome is trying to like become a Pokemon trainer out here. Look at this dude. Look at this man playing Pokemon out in real life. I have a single cat. Dude, I don't have a single pet because my mom's scared of like animals, right? I mentioned this before. That's why I don't have pets. But there's that. 7 dogs. Sorry, that's fine. Uh, understandable mistake.
Shooting people. It would be unsafe to allow Martin out of his
Add
parents'
13
control.
cats. Jesus.
Unbeknownst to the
Man, why are you guys
psychiatrist,
collecting them
Martin
all
wouldn't
like
be in his
Pokemon?
parents' control, as Maurice and Carlene
So
would
wait, what? So are they all like grown from kittens or something, or do you just like directly buy 13 different cats?
not be joining Martin in Copping, which would be a deadly oversight. Once Helen and Martin moved to Turrisville, Martin took it upon himself to police the city in his own way.
So I
Neighbors
guess
would
but they're the
often
one
see
let her
him
go.
carrying
All
his
right.
air gun that his father
What's
had
him?
given
All
him
right,
years
all right,
back
kittens and
while
stuff then.
walking around, and he would fire it at tourists. He would shoot at people he thought didn't belong or who were infiltrating the area. And though he would try in earnest to make friends, most avoided him at all costs. Bryant and Harvey filled their large farm with animals and were often seen corralling more when they went into town. Their cars were known to always have at least 3 animals in the back seat, whether that be cats, dogs, or even mini horses. Martin's
Mini
odd behavior
horses,
wasn't simply limited to the people of Copping. He was
baby
also
horses.
seen shooting at dogs and sheep that lived on the property,
What?
once again taking his anger and frustration out on animals who couldn't defend themselves. He also began to do things that would endanger Helen's life. After the death of her mother, Helen had placed Martin as being the sole beneficiary of her will, leaving him more than 550,000 Australian dollars. If she were to pass, he would be the owner of the 72
Oh,
acre
that's
farm
so
and
dumb,
all of
dude.
her property and everything that the pair had bought together, including 30 cars. After being placed in the will, every time that the pair were in the car together, Martin would grab the steering wheel from Helen and try to veer the car off the road.
Why?
Helen had complained about Martin doing this on at least 3 occasions to others, and at least one other person had been in the car when Martin had attempted this before. Helen was an incredibly cautious
Why?
driver, deliberately never going over 37 miles per hour, and she found this new habit of Martin's terrifying. He had already caused 3 accidents, and though they hadn't been too serious, she was fearful of her and her animal's safety. She would ask him not to sit in the front seat anymore, scared about if he would take the wheel. But Martin would never listen. Martin, for his part, would state he was just being funny and didn't mean anything by it. He wasn't actually trying to cause harm. It was just a bit of a laugh. But it worried most around Helen.
What the
Some felt
fuck?
that Martin, having already secured his place in her will,
1 dog multiplied to 7 and 2 cats to 10. Alright, I can understand the cats. How did the 1 dog multiply? You know water? I'm too lazy to go get some. Maybe get some water. It's just a prank, bro. True. Classic
was
YouTuber
trying to
shit.
kill her so he could have access to her fortune. And whether or not that was true or not, on October 20th, 1992, Helen would in fact perish in an automobile accident while
Oh
Martin
shit.
had been in the car. According to the
Just
accident
20 years
report,
ago.
Helen and Martin had been driving when seemingly out of nowhere, Helen veered the car directly into oncoming traffic. Helen had been killed instantly, and Martin had been taken
That's
to
what
the
happens when a
hospital
dog escapes
with
for
severe
1 day.
back and
Oof.
neck injuries. There had been 3
bro.
dogs in the car as well, 2 of which died while the third was unharmed. According to Martin, who was the only survivor of the crash, 2 of the dogs began to fight in the back seat, and Helen had uncharacteristically turned her body around to try and stop them, taking her hands completely off the wheel. The car then veered into the other side of the road, colliding with another car. The police lightly investigated the crash, but determined that there were no signs of foul play, despite the
Oof.
fact that it was known that Martin enjoyed grabbing the wheel and veering the car the way that had been done before. There was no direct evidence showing that that had been the case. They also stated that the crime lacked motive, as Bryant had only the quote-unquote vaguest notions as it pertained to money, and was too incompetent to kill for profit. The case closed quickly, with Helen's death being labeled as a tragic accident, and all of her property and money being given to Martin. However, Carlene, knowing her son and his inability to handle such wealth, opted to put the money into a trust, meaning he wouldn't have full access to it. It took 7 months for Martin to fully recover from the crash. All the while, his dad was placed in charge of the copping farm and the various animals there. At the same time, Marie saw a psychiatrist and had
Dude,
just begun taking anti.
the fact that his family was still there, even after shit like this, was so jank. Oof. It's fine, flashbacks, don't worry about it. But dude, the fact that his family is still there, aren't just supporting him, is really interesting though. Oh, Sam, thanks for the group. I didn't see this until right now.
Antidepressants, as the stress of taking care of Martin was beginning to wane on him. He told the psychiatrist that although he loved his son, he was scared of him and what he would do. He felt entirely responsible for Martin, and every time he had
I
killed an
undergo.
animal, shot a person, or hurt someone else, he felt pressure to do more, but he didn't know if it was helping or hurting him. Maurice was struggling, but he kept his issues to himself, not wanting to burden any of the other family members with his mental
Come
health
back,
woes.
take your time. Take your
Martin was
time.
released into his mother's care after 7 months in the hospital, and he stayed at home with her in order to continue to recuperate. By August 1993, he had fully healed, and was once again living at the farm, only this time without Helen to rein him in. He began to act even more outlandishly, still shooting at people with his air rifle and trying to make friends with people in the town, only to be rejected. Because
Oof.
he was on his own,
Oof.
Maurice made it a habit to go out and visit the farm. He would briefly clean up the farm for Martin, take care of the animals, and make sure everything was in healthy condition, as Martin didn't mind living in total squalor. That had been Maurice's plan when he drove the 45 minutes to the Tarsville farm on August 13th. However, tragedy would strike once more. The next morning, a man Maurice had made plans with came to the property and found a note stuck to the front door that said to call the police. He called the cops at once and tried to find Maurice on the property, but only found Martin, who was incredibly nonchalant. For his part, Martin stated he hadn't seen his father the night before, and didn't seem worried about the note stuck to the door or the odd circumstance regarding his father's disappearance. As the police
Wait,
came to the
what?
property to
Alright.
search, he remained in the background, cracking a few jokes and generally seemed at ease. In fact, he tried to hit on one of the female officers who were participating in the search. asking multiple of them out to dinner and stating that he was a millionaire. Early on in the search,
Sure, dude.
the
All right.
police found Maurice's car, locked in a shed on the property. Inside the car was a suicide note and thousands of dollars in cash.
Oh
The
shit.
note gave no direct indication
Free money.
of where he had taken his own life. But the moment it was found, it was clear that they were looking for a body. It wouldn't be until the police called in divers to search the reservoir in the back of the property that Maurice would be found. He had a diving weight wrapped around his body, and he clearly drowned. There were no signs of any assault or attack on his person or the property, but people found the manner of death odd. People at the scene stated that they found the death to be outright unnatural and felt as if there was no way Maurice had done this to himself. People also found it strange that multiple dead animal carcasses were found around Maurice, as if this part of the reservoir was used as a sort of burial ground.
Bro.
Something that is often passed over in this case is the fact that
Carl,
somewhere
bunch of
along
things
the
to
way,
follow.
Martin's
You're doing
violence
great.
towards animals had turned sexual in nature. He had begun collecting pornography that featured graphic scenes of bestiality in it, and
Alright,
it was
that's messed
thought,
up.
at least after Helen died,
Oh shit. So this is probably connected to the pig they mentioned earlier. Right. That's a little weird. That's a little
that he
weird.
began to sexually abuse the animals on the property.
Oh, yeah,
He would
we're doing
tell
good.
various people,
Also,
including
mods.
children,
Uh,
about his sexual
yeah.
interest with animals, but none of them were ever around long
Mods.
enough to witness
Do the
anything.
thing.
Whether or not he had been sexually abusing any of the animals was unclear, but it was clear that Martin
Man, why do
had,
some
at the
people
very
not read
least, taken to
redeemed?
killing multiple sheep and floating their bodies in the same spot his dad would later be drowned in. Many believe that, despite Maurice's depression, he hadn't killed himself. Rather, he had been murdered by his son. It was thought that after the death of Helen, he realized that
Yeah,
killing people
I mean,
around
you want to
him
get unbanned,
would
just
lead to
like put a
him getting
request
more
in.
money. He knew his dad had put him in the will,
So
and he
Carl
would gain upwards of
Punchal, who
250,000 Australian
just followed, banned because they redeemed the Tuala redeem, which is basically a permaban redeem, right? Redeem Tuala, yeah, dude. The Tuala redeem is basically straight up just you get permabanned. L- Anyone's gonna get permabanned for doing this, but also straight up just I would have banned anyway. I straight up would have banned anyway, just because they unfollowed. So I don't care. So I don't care. Just read. I don't care. They don't either. Evidently, they just probably did it for like the troll.
dollars if he
So yeah,
died.
well,
And so,
cool.
on a weekend
Thanks for
visit,
a free
he
ban,
killed
I
him.
guess.
Online
Always love banning
sleuths
people.
have posited that he practiced killing his father on the animals that were found floating in the water around him, showing premeditation. However, based on Martin's disability and the
They
belief that he
unfollowed,
wouldn't be
yeah,
able to
instantly.
follow through with a
This is
plan
what I
like
mean.
that, the death was
Dude,
ultimately ruled a
this is
suicide.
what makes me fucking mad, right? When people like follow you and unfollow, what are you doing? You're trying to prove that what you're a dick. What? You're a terrible person. I don't know. What are you trying to like prove? I don't get it. Like insta unfollowers, Ryan. It's rather interesting to see, I guess.
Suicide, and Martin inherited the 250,000 Australian dollars. After his father's and Helen's death, Martin had nothing to hold him back. He had more than enough money to support himself for the rest of his life, and he had 2 spacious mansions that he was the sole owner of, so he could do whatever he wanted. Years before, the psychiatrist said that Martin told him that he would like to go around shooting people, and that, in his words, it would be unsafe to allow Martin out of his parents' control. And now he truly was.
Jesus.
Newly on his
Alright.
own, he decided he was going to attempt to be more social. Most people knew him to be violent, with him still shooting tourists every time he encountered them.
What?
But just like he had in middle school, he misunderstood the reasoning as to why people didn't enjoy being around him. He was under
Why?
the impression that
Why
people
tourists?
didn't like him
They're
because
there to
of reasons
vibe.
outside of
Dude.
his control, like the fact that
Imagine you're roaming around as like a regular fucking tourist. You're just exploring an area. Why are you coming to like a weird place as a farm in the first place? Dude, imagine you're just like chilling. Vacation. It's a break for you. You're touring around. Some random mayonnaise looking dude comes in and shoots you. Like, what? How do you. Just Americans way to say hi. Isn't this guy in the Australia? This guy's from Australia. Who's going to volunteer for what? Lily said she wants a bloodbath. Who gonna volunteer? Not me. Not me, dude. I don't
he
give a
didn't have a
shit.
lot of money. But now that he did, he dedicated himself to looking the part. What the fuck? This is Dumb and Dumber. Martin replaced his entire wardrobe
Even more
with
fitting
bold
than
outfits
makes
that
sense.
he
Makes
thought
sense.
indicated wealth. He was often found in colorful suits, large cravats, lizard skin shoes, and an oversized Panama hat. He also carried a large briefcase, and every day he would go into various shops and restaurants, loudly declaring that he was a very important businessman who was in
Okay,
town
dude.
who was in town for business reasons. Many who saw him stated that he appeared to act like a child's idea of what an adult looked like, rather than an actual adult. On one occasion, while
Shit,
wearing a
rip.
blue suit with bell-bottom pants and a ruffled shirt, he
Why?
went into a restaurant and told everyone who was there that he was a well-respected, highly paid businessman who was in town to buy property. On the off chance someone would talk back to him, he would give them different stories about how he got his money. His behavior was so odd and off putting that most people inside the restaurant laughed at him, thinking he was doing a bit or trying to be funny. The owner would later talk about the experiences as being horrible. He stated that everyone was laughing at him, even the customers. I really felt
Nice.
suddenly quite sorry for him. I realized this guy didn't have
Unlucky.
any friends. It seemed that after the instance
We shot me a jump from a glove just to not die from this mayo looking dude. Nice.
at the
Good job.
restaurant
Good
that
job,
Martin
Sam.
came to the conclusion that it wasn't possible for him to make friends in the town of Copping. In fact, he began to feel as though Tasmania, and more so Australia, in its entirety, had it out for him. He felt as if the people didn't understand him and were actively
Damn, that's
against
some
him. So he
actual
decided
sad
he would
shit.
become a world traveler. Using the money left to him by his father and Helen, he began to travel around the world, visiting various cities, landmarks, and experiencing other cultures. However, he found that he wasn't well regarded in these towns either, and most people would continue to avoid him. People who had interacted with him during this time recall how he would openly speak about his sexual interest in animals, how he had shot over 20 dogs, and how he hated certain people for the way they looked, more specifically, Asian men and women. No
Why
one he talked
Asian
to
women?
ever felt safe enough to
You
relate to
literally
him
sleep
that
with
what
pigs.
he was doing was inappropriate and made them
You literally
uncomfortable.
slept with
Most of the
shitting pigs.
time, they would simply ignore him and try to walk away. There was one thing about traveling that Martin liked, though, and that was plane rides. Martin found that while on the plane, people could do very little to avoid him. If they wanted to ignore him, they came across as rude. He also found if he spoke loud enough, most couldn't politely pretend he wasn't there, and so they would have to interact with him. Every trip across
That's
the
so
globe,
dumb.
Martin looked forward to the plane ride the most, knowing that it would likely be the time that he could talk to the most people. Sometime towards the end of his travels, Bryant became suicidal. The reason as to why has only been speculated by some, with Martin himself giving conflicting reports. He stated that he felt as if the world had turned their back on him and everyone was against him,
Oh,
and that is why he was
dude,
alone.
he took so long to figure that out. He took that long to figure out that people didn't like him because he kept saying weird shit to them. How ironic. Bad taste. Bro, it took him so long and like several trips around the world to come to the conclusion that people don't like him. No shit, dude.
alone in the world. He
Smart.
stated that he felt unwanted and uncared for in every sense of the word, and that he wanted to make the world finally recognize who he was.
You killed
He
your
was
dad.
going to
No
make the
shit.
people who turned their back on him pay. Thus, he began to plan out a killing spree that would be one of the deadliest shootings in Australian history. Prior to Maurice's death,
Oh
he had been
god, the
interested
shooter.
in
I thought
purchasing a
he,
bed and
I thought he's
breakfast
Australian. I
called
didn't know
the
he's American.
Seascape. It was a quaint little home that was
Unwanted
located
one?
next
No
to
way,
Port
no
Arthur,
way, dude.
and Maurice
I
had
don't
been
know.
set upon spending his
But he came
retirement
to
years
the
at the inn,
conclusion himself.
taking care of tourists and basking in the
He
beauty
came to the
that
same
surrounded
conclusion
it.
while sitting in my
But
room.
before he
Oof.
could get his finances together to put in an official offer on the property, an acquaintance of his bought it up from under him. That person was David Martin. Martin had also planned to spend his years in the property with his wife, Nolene, the same way Maurice did, and ultimately was able to purchase the cottage for himself. While from a third party perspective, it seemed that the two men had the same goal, and one of them would obviously walk away feeling put out, according to Martin, this was the direct reason for his father's suicide. Martin would go on to state that on numerous occasions his father brought up David Martin and how he had stolen the Seascape bed and breakfast from him. Maurice had talked to David in the days leading up to the purchase, and David had never seemed interested in the property at all. He knew that Maurice was putting his finances together, but his purchase of the property, Maurice said, was backhanded. After they had bought the property, Maurice had made an offer to them, but they declined. Once more, they stated that they wanted to use the bed and breakfast and live out their retirement years there, so they rejected every money offer Maurice put together. Martin had heard how upset his father was, and saw how devastated he was to lose the seascape. He went on to say about the Martins that they were the worst kind of people in his life, and so,
Oof.
when he decided that he was going to go on a murder
Oof.
spree, he opted to start with the people he hated the most, them. On April 28, 1996, Bryant drove his little yellow Volvo to the Seascape Bed and Breakfast. He had placed his surfboard on top of his car in order to throw off any suspicion as to what was to come. At 11:45, he arrived at the bed and breakfast and immediately removed his newly purchased AR-15 rifle out of his duffel bag and stormed into the property. Martin and Nolene had been having a lovely day together, sprucing up the inn when he entered. Nolene was shot immediately. She died at once, but he continued to shoot the older woman, attacking her as if she were still alive. David heard the gunshots, but had no idea what the sound was. The idea that someone had come into their peaceful seaside inn and opened fire was ludicrous. The sudden onslaught of loud noises alarmed him nevertheless, and he ran to the front in order to make sure his wife was okay. Upon turning the corner into the front entrance to check on her, David was likewise shot, but was still alive. Bryant then gagged David with a rag and then, in a rampage, began to stab him repeatedly. In Martin's mind, he was ridding the world of the most ruthless person he had ever come across, although to others who knew them, Martin and Nolene had been nothing of the sort. After killing David, Martin went to the sink and cleaned off his hands, taking special...
That's such a messy crime scene. Because one, now your marks are all over the place. So like literally anyone can track you down. Two, it's a mess, so you can't even fucking clean it up. Like whatever you do, you cannot clean up anything. Possibly one of the worst case of shooting I've heard of till date, I guess. You know about the Junko Furuta case? No, Sam, I don't. You don't look it up. Oh, I now I want to look it up. It's like watching a train wreck. It's fucked, but I can't look away. Yeah, basically.
care that no blood was remaining on his person. He then exited the small inn and locked the door behind him, wanting to come back at the end of his planned attack for a face-off with the police. As he was exiting, two tourists approached him to inquire about spending the night there. Martin rebuffed them rudely, stating that there was no one, save for his own girlfriend, inside the inn, and that they should find other accommodations. To the tourists, Martin came across as equal parts rude and awkward, and they quickly left, not wanting to speak to him any further. Martin got back into his car, backed up towards the inn, and loaded another round of ammunition into it before driving off to his next target, Port Arthur. Port Arthur was the site of a 19th century convict settlement. As it fell into despair over the years, it became a tourist attraction. The site was gorgeous, and due to its historical significance, thousands of people would travel there every year to take in the sights. Because of how popular the site was with tourists, as well as the fact that it was in a remote location, Martin opted to use it as a hunting ground. He arrived at the site at 1:10 p.m. and paid the entry fee in the parking lot. The site security manager tried to guide him to customer parking. However, instead, Martin ignored him, opting to park behind some campers and vans. He then seemed to fiddle with some things in his car, before deciding to move it closer to the Broad Arrow Cafe. After parking for a second time, Martin got out of his car with a large duffel bag containing his guns, and a video camera that was already filming. He then entered the cafe, purchased a meal, and like he had so many other times before, tried to engage with the people around him. He commented on the fact that there weren't a lot of wasps out that day, referring to the term meaning white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, and not the bug. He also stated that there were not as many Japanese tourists out, which he seemed annoyed about. It appeared that these had been the main demographic that he was looking to injure in his attack. However, them not being present did little to dissuade him from taking action. After Martin finished his food, he had been largely ignored by the seated around him. He reached into his duffel bag and pulled out his video camera and set it down on the table. He likewise pulled out the knife he had used on David Martin, which was still caked in his blood. Only then did he pull out his gun and begin shooting, starting with the two people at the table next to him, Mo Yi No and Su Lang Chung. He then began to fire randomly towards everyone he saw. The next person he took aim at was Mike Sargent, who had been visiting Port Arthur with his girlfriend, Kate Scott. Martin shot at Mike and grazed his skull, knocking him down to the ground and causing him to think he had been fatally wounded. While he lay in shock, Kate was likewise struck in the back of her head and died immediately.
Oof.
Jason Winter had been visiting the cafe with his
That's
family
short.
that morning and decided to help out the staff as they had been swamped with customers. As the shots began to ring out, he saw Martin moving towards his wife Joanne and their newborn son. In an effort to distract Martin from his family, he threw a serving tray at Brian's head, which struck him dead center. Martin then turned around and shot at him, but missed. His
Oof.
distraction had worked, and his family remained unharmed. Directly after shooting at Jason, he shot and killed 44-year-old Anthony Nightingale, 68-year-old Kevin Sharp, 66-year-old Walter Bennett,
Man,
and
he just
67-year-old Raymond Sharp. At the same time, he managed
bro, this is like you pick up a game and then the only things they're targeting are the training dummies. He literally went only after the old people. He literally went only after the old people and nobody else. This is so dumb. What the fuck? Alright.
to hit Gerald Broom, Gay Fiddler, and her husband, John Fiddler, Tony and Sarah Kiston, Andrew
Bro, if
Mills, Thelma
you're
Walker,
gonna do
and
crime, at least like make it cool. Fuck. All old people, yeah, he straight up
Pamela Law.
he just went and I think he just like went, alright, this is gonna be shooting practice for me. And then he got fucked.
But luckily, they survived and were able to get out of Martin's line of fire. Brian continued to move through the cafe, blocking off the exit. However, many visitors outside of the cafe had no idea what was going on and thought there was some form of demonstration or reenactment occurring. Again, the thought that someone was killing people inside the small cafe and gift shop didn't occur to those present, so they began to rush into the cafe and gift shop, trying to see what was going on. This, of course, led to more people being in danger, and though some trying to escape tried to warn them of what was happening, no one seemed to notice. Eventually, someone began yelling fire, which finally caused people to disperse. Bryant continued to move about. He shot Graham Collier in the jaw. He had been sitting with Carolyn Lofton and her daughter Sarah. After Collier had been shot, Sarah attempted to run towards her mother, and Bryant shot at her. Seeing his eyes focus in on her daughter, Carolyn lunged over Sarah to shield her with her body. However, Sarah had been fatally shot in the head. He then shot Mervyn and Mary Howard and Robert Elliott as he moved towards the gift shop. From the
He
point
got
he
shot.
put his camera down and
And his
began
gunshot,
shooting,
I don't know,
only
let's check it
15
out. Yeah,
seconds had
basically.
gone by, and at that time, he managed to injure a total of 22 people, 12 of which passed away from their injuries. But he was far from finished. Many others took advantage of the opportunity to hide behind tables and behind store displays as Bryant came closer to the gift shop area. Nicole Burgess, 17, was tragically shot in the head, and Elizabeth Howard, 26, was fatally shot in the arm and chest immediately as he entered the shop, signaling phase 3 of his killing spree. Carol Lee Lever and Vera Jerry huddled behind a screen, trying to hide from Martin. Dennis Lever, Carol Lee's spouse, was fatally shot in the head as he moved to escape fire. Pauline Masters, Vera J's husband Ron, and Carolyn Nash tried but failed to escape the shooting through a locked emergency exit door. Gwen Neander was likewise shot in the head as she was trying to get to the door. As Martin continued to move through the shop, he shot Peter Crosswell, Jason Winter, Dennis Olson, Ronald Jerry, Peter Nash, and Pauline Masters. Carolyn Nash, who had been hiding next to them, had been able to escape unharmed, using her husband's dead body for cover. In the span of seconds, Martin had taken 8 more lives, bringing his total up to 20 deceased, and wounded another 12. But still, he had more to do. Martin exited the gift shop and cafe and made his way to the parking lot. He began to take fire at whatever caught his eye, shooting at buses and various people as they tried to flee. He was able to kill another 4 people and injure 5 others. He then decided to take his rampage on the road. Getting back into his car, he began to head up the road away from Port Arthur, and it was there he happened upon Nanette McCack and her children. Nanette had fled Port Arthur while carrying her 3-year-old Madeline and 6-year-old Alana. Bryant spotted them and pulled his car up near them, opening his door. Nanette had not witnessed any of his crimes and didn't know that it was him that had opened fire and thought he was just trying to help her and her kids. Martin then stepped out of his car with his gun and ordered Nanette on her knees. She pleaded with him as she knelt, but he shot her in the head and then shot both of her children. Bryant continued down the road until he was stopped by traffic at a toll booth. At the front of the line was a BMW that was occupied by Mary Rose Nixon, Russell James Pollard, and Helene and Robert Salzman. Bryant, wanting to get back to the Seascape Inn in order to finish his plan, got annoyed at the traffic. He exited his car and made his way, weapons in hand, to the BMW.
Man,
According to
not like
witnesses,
this.
Bryant
Or
got into an
this guy's
argument with
actually is
Robert,
dumb.
who was
He's
seated in the
not smart
passenger
at all
seat
when
of
it
the
comes to any of
vehicle,
this.
and he shot him at point-blank range. Pollard then got out of the car to confront Bryant, and he likewise shot him in the chest, before reaching into the car and shooting Helene and Mary. Martin then removed their bodies from the back seat and transferred his ammunition and supplies to the BMW, choosing it to carry out the remainder of his plan.
Why
He
though?
continued up the road to a service station, where he promptly cut off another car that was trying to escape. In the car was Glenn Pierce and his girlfriend Zoe Hall. For some unknown reason, Martin decided that he was going to abduct the pair. This hadn't been
Why?
part of his original plan, but he felt invincible at this point. He got out of his car and
Bro,
approached
this man's
Glenn's,
also
rifle in
playing fucking
hand.
GTA
Glenn got out of
RL.
the car to try and reason with Martin, but Martin told Glenn to get into his stolen BMW and locked him inside. He then went to the passenger side of the car, where he noticed that Zoe was trying to climb over the driver's side in order to
Full
escape.
version torn
He
out.
then
Dude,
shot
Sam,
her
send
3
these on
times
Discord. I'm
before
not going
getting
to click
back
any of
into
these
the
links on
BMW
stream
and
if you
finishing the
think they're
drive
weird.
to the Seascape Inn. On the road to the inn, he likewise shot at every car he happened upon. Luckily, he was unable to take any more lives. Once at the Seascape Inn, Martin brought Glenn inside and handcuffed him to the stairs. He then set the BMW on fire. At some point within the next 18 hours, Martin shot Glenn, but it's unknown how or when he truly died. Shortly after arriving, a reporter who had heard about the shooting called the inn, wanting to see if they had any knowledge of what was occurring. She had been calling multiple local establishments with the same hope, but by sheer coincidence was able to get the murderer on the line. She asked him what was happening, to which he responded, "A lot of fun." He then told her if she were to call back, he would kill his hostage, and hung up. It didn't
Bro,
take
what I
long
did
for the police
policy.
to find where Martin
Oof.
was.
Not like
Because
this.
he had chosen the inn, it was unclear as to how many people were inside. The police knew he had taken at least one hostage, and because their bodies hadn't yet been found, they believed that David and Olene were still inside, and they wanted to negotiate for their safe return. However, when they were able to contact Martin via phone, he seemed unbothered by the whole situation. Usually, in attacks like what had just occurred, the attacker is in a fragile emotional state and contemplating taking their own life. They are hurt and feel the need to lash out, and will take any opportunity to do so. But Martin was the opposite. He seemed happy, as if nothing had happened at all, and seemed to be enjoying himself. Conversations with a negotiator went nowhere, with Martin never relaying any feasible demands, with the negotiator unable to get a firm grasp on what Martin was after. At 8 a.m. the following morning, smoke began to rise from the Seascape cottage. Martin had set the small inn on fire, hoping to distract the police for long enough that he could make his escape. But he accidentally managed to set himself alight with the house, and 10 minutes after the smoke
I DM'd
began
you
to
short, Sam.
rise, he burst through the front doors and rolled on the wet ground, hoping to quell the flames. While he was rolling on the ground, the police were able to surround him, promptly arresting him and taking him to the Royal Hobart Hospital for his wounds. In the span of minutes, Martin had become one of the most prolific mass murderers in the world, and all because, in his own words, he was tired of people not understanding him. After he was treated for his wounds,
he was the one who
police spent
understand why people
multiple
don't
days
like him.
talking to Martin, trying to get him
not
to
other
understand the gravity of the situation. But each time, Martin both denied responsibility and seemed to take glee from the idea that he was being talked about. Martin stated that he had no idea what had happened.
Dude, this dude is a prime example of why some people say if everyone doesn't like you, it's probably a you thing. This is literally what where it comes from, where it applies the best, as far as I can see.
And that the person responsible should be ashamed of themselves. But when he was shown video footage
This
that
over
had
a
been
year
taken by
ago,
victims of the attack that clearly featured him, he
the
feigned
interview and
ignorance,
stuff.
saying that they should be looking for that man. However, given his gleeful demeanor and smug attitude, it was clear that he wasn't actually stating his innocence. He was
Oh, it's still the Frog Boy stuff. Samson, this is
purposely
again like
denying
after a while.
responsibility to irritate the people around him. It had been just like his
Dude, I still
childhood
love the
psychiatrist
Archidearist
had
one
stated.
and the
If he could
Asmongold
bother someone, he did,
memes
and
thing of
genuinely
this.
derived pleasure from it. The tapes
Gonna be
of
let's
Martin's
kill everyone
interviews
instead. Yeah.
have been released in a
Sounds good.
documentary by 7 News Australia, but their unedited footage has yet to be released. The transcripts are, however, readily available, and upon reading, provide a dizzying look into Martin's mind and how little he cared for the proceedings. At times, he would talk openly about various aspects of his day and what he had done, never quite admitting to the shooting or taking any lives. And then, with a smirk, he would say he made everything up, and had no idea what they were talking about, that what they were claiming he just said was fictitious and lies. He readily admitted to stealing the BMW and setting the Seascape Inn on fire, but everything else was, he claimed, done by somebody else. He was quoted as saying his biggest regret surrounding the day was that he drove without a license, because breaking the law like that is foolish. However, at the end of the last interview between Martin and the detectives, after Martin believed the camera and recording equipment were turned off, he smirks at the detectives
after this topic,
and
we'll have one
says,
more after
"I'm sure
we'll
you'll
watch
find
the
the
Aki
person
one
who
and then we'll
caused
watch
this."
the meme.
Then slightly grinning ear to
Why do
ear,
you do meme reviews?
motions to
Because no one
himself
sends
and
in good
whispers,
memes.
"Me." After a beat,
Why do
he
meme
motioned
reviews
over to
if
the
no one sends
camera,
in
which
memes?
again he believed had been shut off at that
I
point,
can't
and
find my own
stated,
memes,
"You
dude."
should have put that thing on recording," seemingly gloating about confessing to committing one of the deadliest mass shootings in the world and feigning ignorance about it. It was clear, though, that from the footage alone, that he was more than competent and understood what he was doing, despite his low IQ and lack of basic intelligence. He was basically just putting on a show, hoping to get a lesser charge. His glee was short-lived, as the detectives informed him that the camera was still going and they had their confession on tape.
Yeah, imagine.
After he pled guilty at the insistence of his lawyer, Martin was sentenced to 35 life tariffs, with an additional 1,035 years added
How long
on
is
for
that?
good measure.
You need
For
to
the
go. I'll
first
see you
8
around,
months
Chrome.
of
Thanks
his
so much
life
for coming back. I
sentences,
really
he was
appreciate it.
placed in a
Take care.
suicide prevention
I'll
cell
see you
in
around.
near
I don't know how long
solitary
I'll stream tonight,
confinement.
but I'll see you
After
around.
that, he was sent to Hobart's Wilfred
Yeah.
Lopes
Take care,
Center,
dude. Take
which was a
care.
mental health facility. Because of his treatment, Martin doubled his weight and attempted to take his own life multiple times. He likewise assaulted multiple staff members and patients while in the facility. There is no good way to end this story. Martin is a truly disturbed person who could have easily been stopped.
He's not
Every
dead.
psychiatrist who saw him stated he was a danger to society, and that something like this was inevitable if he were to ever leave his parents' care. And still, he was able to move out of their home and into the home of a woman he killed. The fact that he wasn't put immediately into a care facility and instead roamed the countryside, actively shooting people with his air rifle, talking to psychiatrists about wanting to cause real, tangible harm to others, and no one thought anything of it, is ridiculous. Warning signs were obvious, but because everyone chose to ignore them, 35 people were killed, senselessly, including Winifred Joyce Applin, 58, Walter John Bennett, 66, Nicole Louise Burgess, 17, Sue Lang Chung,
it's all fucking
32,
victims now. It's all fucking victims. Oh, James, welcome to stream. Hope you're doing good. Welcome in. Yeah, that was I would say interesting case, but the guy was just fucking dumb. So yeah, that happened. That's the thing. Everything about it was stupid. Yeah, this is why I also think guns are stupid, because people do shit like this all the time. Also, the fact that it's so readily available, and there's more laws against blade weapons than guns is, I think, stupider. But it is what it is, I guess.
オウム真理教は1987年麻原孫氏によって設立されました。私たちが目指すのは仏教の真理に基づき一人一人が幸福になることであり、最終的には目立つ悟りです。
グルを持たず一人で修行していたので、それこそ試行錯誤の連続だった。自分の修行に対する確信ができ、とても嬉しかったものだ。なぜならこれは経典上正しい修行によって身につく神通力とされていたからである。こんなにたくさんの弟子を指導すると言ったって一体どうやってと誰もが思うことだろう。しかしどんなに弟子が多くとも、またどんなに場所的に離れていたとしても、そんなことは何の問題にもならない。
本日麻原死刑囚をはじめとするオウム事件の死刑囚の執行が行われました。
Other techniques of mind control included hours of chanting and listening to tapes like this.
Whoa! What is happening? What is happening?
Followers paid thousands of dollars to be blessed by Asahara, to drink his blood or tea brewed from his hair.
Why? Why? That's nasty.
When I first came to Japan, I remember that first week of feeling overwhelming culture shock. I had always been interested and fascinated by Japanese culture from what I'd seen and what I read on the internet, but actually stepping into a new country and a new culture is always a completely different experience for everyone. From the train station rush hours to vending machines on every corner to thousands of years of tradition preserved that sometimes as a foreigner you feel like you have to keep up with just to fit in. And yeah, anime is also somewhere twined into all of that. But one thing that has just never escaped my mind is...
I think I enjoyed the first 4 episodes of Blue Literature. It's on a person called Osamu Dazai and his final book, No Longer Human. Oh shit, alright. It's based off of... Alright. I'll take a look at it then. I'll take a look at it. What's up, Kira? Hope you're doing good. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Where the fuck are all the trash cans? As bizarre as it seems, Japan is one of the cleanest countries in the world, and yet also simultaneously has some of the least amount of public trash cans available. This is one of the most common concerns that you'll hear from people that have lived or stayed in Japan. It's actually asked so often that it's become an inside joke with everyone. If you've ever asked yourself this question, then a quick Google search will lead you to results that nearly all say the same thing. A domestic terrorism attack in 1995 where a Japanese cult released sarin gas in Tokyo's subway system. The attack was said to be the most serious attack upon Japan since World War II. The cult was named Om Shinrikyo, and the leader responsible was Shoko Asahara. I'm Detective Aki, and this is On the Case.
Alright. Dude, isn't Aki's content geared towards something else? What is this video? Or did she just like go into like serious shit like this all the time? Like horror and thriller and crime and shit?
Welcome to On the Case. This is a series that I do on this channel where I go over...
We didn't hit 777. Wait, we did. When? No, we're at 776. It just shows a bugged out number because I banned someone earlier in Chen. Someone came in earlier. They got themselves permabanned and they left. So that happened. And yeah, we're not at 777.
Over urban legends and cases in Japan and explain them in great detail. Now, some of you may have seen various YouTube videos talking about this case, but in this video, I'm going to be sharing footage from Japanese media outlets, visit locations of the crime, and unveil how a group went from a religious group loved by thousands to a recognized foreign terrorist organization in several countries. In order to do this, we're going to have to dive into the childhood of the leader of this cult, Shoko Asahara.
Wait, isn't it a Saturday already? Do you work on Saturday?
Shoko Asahara was born under the name Chizuo Matsumoto. Matsumoto was brought up by a large poor family of tatami mat makers. He was born with a condition that caused him to lose sight in his left eye and partially blind in his life, which caused them to enroll in Kumamoto Prefectural School for the Blind. His parents had faith that he would be able to make something of himself despite his condition, but Shoko Asahara ruthlessly bullied other students and took their money. But at the same time, he became somewhat a leader of other children because he was the only one that could partially see. He wanted to attend medical school but wasn't accepted due to his impaired eyesight. He then aimed to enter law school but failed the entrance exam. As he grew up, he eventually graduated and studied acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine. He also married a woman who birthed him 6 children. But in 1982, Matsumoto was arrested for selling fake Chinese medicines at a pharmacy without a license. He was fined $2,000 and given a brief jail sentence. He filed for bankruptcy and became even more obsessed with fortune-telling, yoga, Buddhism, and divination. Eventually, he asked himself, what am I living for? Is there anything absolute? Does true happiness really exist in this world? If so, can I get it? As his obsession with divination and religion grew, Matsumoto claimed to have been meditating on a beach in Kanagawa and that a god descended from the sky and said, I appoint you as the god of light who leads the armies of gods. A photograph was published of Matsumoto seated in lotus position levitating in the air. Along with this, he published a book claiming he could levitate, control weather, and had telekinesis. Not long after, Matsumoto went to visit the Dalai Lama and had a photo taken of them that he would later use in his books to make his work seem more legitimate. illegitimate.
Bruh.
He started a religious group
The
called
Dalai Lama.
Shinsen no Kai, which later got
knowing
renamed
about all this
to
topic really
Shin
shows how lifeless I
which
am.
translates
Well, that
into
makes
Supreme
multiple of us,
Truth.
Sam.
It was after this that he decided to change his name to Shoko Asahara. The reason for this name, he thought Asahara was a classier family name and Shoko was a word that means offering of incense. Asahara went to the government to apply his group as a legitimate religious organization. Authorities were reluctant at first, but eventually granted them the legal recognition, and Om Shinrikyo was born.
Dude, how do
Om
cults
Shinrikyo
randomly
had
start?
beliefs that tied in bits of Buddhism, Hindu, and Christianity. They believed the end of the world was imminent and that they alone would survive. The followers were told that Japan would fall and there would be a nuclear war. There were also hints of murdering the emperor. Their belief was simple: accept Shoko Asahara and you would attain salvation. Asahara continued to publish books claiming many things. In his book titled Declaring Myself the Christ, well, the title becomes self-explanatory. He claimed to be the Lamb of God who could absorb bad karma of his followers. He would tell the people that if they rejected him, then they would be destined to be born as animals, hungry ghosts, and end up in different hells due to their bad karma. To become a part of any society, you have to go through an initiation, and in the case with Om Shinrikyo, Asahara was considered to be so pure that people would actually eat off of his plate, drink his dirty bathwater, touch his feet, and other things that would normally be deemed very unhealthy for a person to do. Some would even brew his hair in their tea. And you couldn't just walk in for free and go through this initiation. To become a member meant paying a hefty sum. One member claimed that he had paid $8,100 for the blood initiation that involved drinking Shoko Asahara's blood. The ironic thing about all of this was that the cult was taught to stray away from materialism. Some less disgusting initiations involved being put through physical and mental obstacles, such as immersion in hot baths and living underground for days at a time.
Why?
It was found later that some people would actually die through this process and that the cult covered it up by secretly cremating their bodies. Now, after all of this has been said and done and you are officially in the cult, you get the privilege to listen to a tape like this for hours on end.
What's the
training?
You could also be one of the lucky members to wear this electrical cap that members believe to help synchronize your brainwaves with Asahara's. Om Shinrikyo was growing in size and reputation within Japan.
So what is it? Oh.
少し待っててください。落ち着いてますから。
どんな感じですか？
すごい幸せな気持ちですごい満足感があって、で肉体とこう自分の意識とか違うところにあった感じがして。
They had collected members of various skills. Many of them were students at elite universities, and normally this is rare, but the students signed up because of the pressure of being successful, and the cult promised them a more meaningful and stress-free life. But all of this was a disguise.
Dude, I think the easiest people to scam at all in the world are old people, kids in uni, in shit unis, and people who are desperately searching for jobs and aren't able to get them, because they'll fall for literally anything just to make sure their life goes somewhere. NFTs really aren't that bad. Sure, Nivi. Sure, Sam. Alright, dude.
To recruit great minds to help aid the cult's popularity even further, while at the same time breaking their confidence. The cult even managed to get members in Japan's military forces. This was especially useful to Shoko Asahara for his plans later down the line. In the meantime, life was going good for Shoko Asahara. He was garnering fame and money from television, followers, and news outlets from all over. One report claimed them to have over 9,000 members in Japan and as many as 40,000 worldwide. The cult even created their own anime studio called MAT, which stood for Manga Anime Team. Anime was growing rapidly in Japan, so an anime called Shoatsu Sekai was produced with the intent of recruiting anime fans and otakus into their cult. It must have worked considering that there's about 272 of you that signed up according to my anime list.
No way!
And while I'm on the topic of their anime, I should probably address a video game thought to be made by the cult themselves. The game was called The Story of Kamukushiki Village, where you play as Shoko Asahara himself. It caused a stir of reviews online in fear that anyone who played it was subjecting themselves to be brainwashed into joining the cult. Fortunately, this was never the case. It was purely satirical and created by a Japanese internet troll who wanted to take jabs at the cult. And to Japanese people playing, the way the story is read makes it actually very obvious this game is satirical. So if you ever see any YouTube videos telling you otherwise, know that it isn't true. Now back to the cult.
Pull them out.
Not everyone, of course, was a fan. As the
India fits all three descriptions. True, that happened. Curry, yeah, one. Am I the only one buffering? Oh, it's back. Was it buffering? Was it buffering? I don't know.
cult
Probably
grew,
you.
more and more people started disappearing. Some were killed in secret by the cult, and some were threatened to stay. Friends and families began protesting in concern for their loved ones' whereabouts. Because of this growing outrage, a man by the name of Tsutsumi Sakamoto stepped in. He was an anti-cult lawyer who sought out to rescue members of the cult and reunite them with their families. He had previous experience in bringing down cults before, and Om Shinrikyo was next on his list. Sakamoto started organizing a campaign against the cult. He established what was called the Om Shinrikyo Victims Association. In order to pursue a class action lawsuit against Asahara, he needed to get members to testify that they did not join the group voluntarily, and that they were lured in by deception and were being held against their will. Sakamoto knew that in order to bring down the cult, he had to destroy the image by debunking the cult's claims. One claim was that Shoko Asahara had divine power running through his blood, and somehow Sakamoto was able to convince the cult leader to submit to a blood test to prove that. After taking it, the results showed no sign of any supernatural phenomenon, and the evidence proved to be potentially damaging to Asahara. Soon after that, the lawyer filmed an interview with a local news station in Tokyo about his doubt and efforts to expose the cult. This was it. All that needed to happen now was to air this interview, and Asahara would be exposed to the world. Unfortunately, before the interview could air, someone from the news station showed the footage to the cult members, and the news station was pressured to cancel broadcasting it. Not long after, some of the cult members, including the chief scientist, got together to eliminate Sakamoto. They packed syringes filled with potassium chloride with the intent to knock out the lawyer, and waited for him to come to the train station. But Sakamoto never showed up. So the members pursued Sakamoto in his own home. They found one of the doors unlocked and snuck in. When they walked into the bedroom, they found Sakamoto, his wife, and a 14-year-old month baby in the crib next to them. Sakamoto was smashed in the head with a hammer, and his wife was beaten, while another member injected the baby with the syringe filled with potassium chloride. They later injected it into the couple. The wife died quickly from the toxins, but Sakamoto not as much. So instead, the cult strangled him to death. Afterwards, their bodies were placed in metal drums, and the cult separated their bodies in 3 separate prefectures. They hoped that by doing this, the police wouldn't be able to make a link between their murders. Not only that, their teeth were smashed to warp their identity. Their bodies would not be found until the gas attack soon to come, 6 years later. Some believe that this was the cult's way of intimidating other lawyers from pursuing them, but even doing that didn't stop some lawyers from chasing after them. Others did begin challenging the cult. One journalist was able to uncover the disappearance of the
Dude, if you know your cult is bullshit, why are you still part of the cult? Why are you supporting it? What? Isn't anyone getting... Isn't only the leader getting money, and everyone else getting like a small fraction of it? Sure. The guy a massage from Peter, my head hurts, and shoulder was hurting like hell. Oof, that's unfortunate. Well, hope it's feeling better now. Right.
Sakamoto family and was pursued, but she avoided being found. Another lawyer by the name of Toko Takimoto went in and debunked Shoko Asahara's book on levitation. After feeling humiliated by the lawyer, Shoko Asahara added Takimoto to the hit list and had an assassination attempted on him. Luckily, it was not successful, and he was hospitalized, making a full recovery.
Okay.
Om Shinrikyo's true colors were beginning to unravel each passing day. Asahara continued to preach that the apocalypse was coming and no one outside the cult would be safe. He continued to use fear and manipulation on his followers. In 1990, Asahara decided to run in a House of Representatives election with 24 of his members. Despite their best efforts and overshooting their confidence, the cult only received a little over 1,700 votes and lost the election. This was thought to truly spur Asahara's hunger for power, which began his pursuit of overthrowing the Japanese government. So, he began a project. Asahara and his most loyal followers built a facility where they would begin experimenting with chemical weapons. The intent was to use these weapons against their enemies and put the cult on top. As they were testing out chemicals, a foul odor began coming out of the facility and disturbing the neighbors nearby. The fumes inhaled would cause symptoms such as nosebleeds and convulsions. When citizens protested in front of the facility, the cult blamed the US Army, saying the United States had released poison gas on the area. But residents all gathered together and provided hundreds of photos proving that the cult was responsible for the horrid smells and that they were up to no good. The evidence was removed, but the cult decided to move their facility to a sheep station in Australia, which cost over $50 million to develop. Some truly question how lacking the security was over watching the cult. There was even a member who was fined for transporting the chemicals hidden in sake bottles. One of the members, who was a chemist, helped create the sarin gas that would be used in the cult's murders. Once the sarin gas was made, they decided to test it out. Before I move on, there's some things that you should know about sarin gas. Sarin is an odorless and colorless gas that has the power to kill quickly and painfully. Imagine the worst cramp you've ever had in your life. Now times that by 100, and instead of in one place, it's in every part of your body, including your eyes. Sarin causes your nervous system to go haywire by flexing every muscle in your body until you get painful cramps that are so extreme that it can even disrupt your diaphragm, preventing air going into your lungs. It's an extremely painful way to die, and anyone in contact with it is at risk of dying in just under 10 minutes. It's been classified as a weapon of mass destruction and is banned from use in modern warfare. No thanks to the chemists and military personnel that were involved in the cult, this is how they got their hands on the substance. Asahara ordered his first attack in an apartment block in Matsumoto Nagano Prefecture, Japan, where he sought out 3 judges living there. He was paranoid that these judges were out to rule against him in a lawsuit. Not to mention, Asahara was also angered by residents where over 140,000 signatures were signed in a petition against the cult's wishes to establish a facility in their city. It was a warm evening and most of the residents were leaving their windows open at night to let the fresh air come into their homes. But as they slept, the cult released the sarin gas in the neighborhood. 7 people died and hundreds were injured. One of the victims went into a coma for 14 years and died shortly after awakening. The police investigated the area and found dead fish, dogs, birds, and caterpillars surrounding the neighborhood. Despite tip-offs, the police did not link the attack to the cult. Little did anyone know that at the time, the Matsumoto gas attack was an experiment for the cult's biggest terrorist attack. Fingerprints from the Matsumoto gas attack linked one of the cult members to the case, and the police set out to raid the cult on March 22nd. But Asahara had friends in high places. 2 cult members just happened to be inside Japan's armed forces and warned Asahara that the police were coming in just a few days. So Asahara acted fast and ordered an attack on the Tokyo subway lines close to the police department. Some believe that this was a desperate attack on Asahara's part to begin the apocalypse. The attack was set to hit during rush hour at the absolute busiest part of the transport systems. It's March 20th, 1995 at about 8 a.m. Thousands of citizens board the trains during rush hour to go to work. Among them were 5 cult members that carried out Asahara's orders and split up to different trains on one of the busiest lines in Tokyo. Each of them is holding a plastic bag filled with liquid sarin wrapped in newspaper. They boarded the train and set the bags gently on the ground. As soon as the train would come to a stop, the cult members would stand up virtually at the same time as if to exit the train. They would use the tips of their umbrellas to puncture the bag, which leaked out the sarin. As the members exited the train, they would meet with an accomplice in a getaway car just outside the station and return to Ulm headquarters. As the cult members drove away, the liquid would quickly evaporate and spread within the train cars. The sarin liquid vaporizes and begins to spread its fumes throughout the train. Passengers began to inhale the deadly nerve gas and showed severe poisoning symptoms. People began coughing and looking around, and almost immediately they began convulsing with muscle spasms. Blood begins to pour from their noses and their mouths. The train is still running, making its stops, and incoming passengers come in contact with the sarin gas. Others that escaped the train fast enough still had difficulty breathing. After 3 stops, a passenger desperately hits the emergency button and the train is forced to make a stop. But the train found itself in the middle of a tunnel and was forced to continue to stop at the next station. The first call to the police is made. An announcement was made for everyone to please evacuate the station, and the passengers made a run for the exit. 13 passengers died from the sarin gas, while thousands more were injured. At first, everyone believed it was an explosion, but quickly the train line completely shut down in order to evacuate all commuters at Kasamigaseki Station. As staff members searched for the source of where the gas was coming from, 2 members died in the process. While others tried to mop up the liquid, they too fell ill from the exposure. It wasn't long until investigators connected the incident to the cult. I took a trip to Kasamigaseki Station, and it was here that the train stopped to evacuate all of its passengers. Staff members were scrambling around to locate and dispose of all of the sarin bags. It's also at the station that every year a memorial is held to remember all of the victims. And as of March 20th, 2021, the station held its 26th anniversary memorial. From what I had researched online, it seems that the sarin bags were put into the train rather than in trash cans. But because of fears of another attack in the future, the government removed all of its trash cans because it was seen as a potential hiding spot for sarin bags.
Yeah, there's more a lot of stuff.
Before I continue on, I want to discuss the victims and shed a light on just how much this incident changed Japan. I feel sometimes exposures are almost completely given to the criminal and almost never to the victims and people affected. Whether it's just human nature for us to look at a car crash we can't look away from, or the media just doesn't care enough to talk about the victims, I decided to shed a light on it after reading Haruki Murakami's book Underground. This book was completely dedicated to focusing on the lives of the victims through the interviews and first-hand experiences. It was like I'd been shot or something. All of a sudden, my breathing completely stopped. Like if I inhaled any more, all my guts would come spilling right out of my mouth. I was walking back to the office to my replacement when the chief officer Matsumoto came out with a mop. We head up the escalator to the platform. There we found Toyoda, Takahashi, and Hishinuma with a bundle of wet newspapers on the platform. They're stuffing it all by hand into plastic bags, but there's liquid coming from them and spilling into the platform. There was a very strong smell. Then Takahashi walked over to the trash can at the end of the platform, probably to fetch some more newspaper to wipe up where it was still wet. Suddenly he sinks down in front of the bin and keels over. Takahashi's face looked awful. He couldn't talk. We laid him on his side, loosened his tie, and he looked in really bad shape.
Damn, so
the
they're
news
already
had
kind of sort of
broken
like
out, and the
cemented.
police headed to OM headquarters. Shoko Asahara was found hiding in a concealed room. He was sweaty and seemed to had intended to stay in hiding for some time. But once he was brought into questioning, he denied the allegations and said that he couldn't possibly have done it because he was a blind man. His followers denied it as well and said that it was a separate plan made by other cult members instead. After further interrogation of the cult members responsible, they all said they legitimately thought what they were doing was right.
Many Japanese, he is guilty and must be punished by death, and so judge will think same way.
While members may have confessed, Shoko Asahara stayed silent. He went through an 8-year trial and attended over 256 court sessions and never once offered an apology nor explanation.
If anything,
Instead, he reportedly developed a mental illness where he babbled nonsense in broken English and talked incoherently. It wasn't uncommon that people thought he was just trying to receive the insanity plea. His lawyer, however, had made a statement.
Man, this lawyer
単なる殺人ではなくして、嘱託殺人で自分は死にたいので自分を殺してくれということを。
本日朝原死刑囚をはじめとするオウム事件の死刑囚の執行が行われました。
Shoko Asahara and his followers were all sentenced on death row. After the attack and trial, the cult members responsible for killing Sakamoto-san and his family had finally revealed the location of their bodies.
警視庁と神奈川県警の合同捜査本部は今日夕方、達彦ちゃんと思われる遺体は今日夕方これまで捜索していた10メートル四方の地域に隣接する東側で発見されました。この地域は今日から捜索範囲を広げた部分で横から壁を削るように掘っていたところ、深さ1メートル。
そしてその坂本さんご一家がその後無残にも殺害されたという厳然たる事実です。ここにまず私たちは改めて坂本さんご一家のご冥福を心から深くお祈りし、 ご遺族関係者の皆様にお悔やみを申し上げます。私自身番組の中で事実に反した放送をしました。私たちが報道機関としての存立基盤そのものを問われている中で、せめても課せられた責任を果たすための第一歩として、現時点でできうる限りの取材をし、その結果を現場からの報告としてお伝えしてまいりました。しかし言うまでもなく、この番組だけで私たちの検証作業が終わるはずもありません。
By this point, it was 6 years after the incident. A memorial was built in Nagano Prefecture and is regularly visited by those closest to the family as well as the families of the victims. The cult member responsible for making the syringe to kill the lawyer was stabbed in front of the paparazzi by a Yakuza member before his trial even started.
Whoa!
あ、そうですよ。彼は私の部下です。部下ですか？はい。あ、そうですか。
He started Yakuza
ちょっと通してよ。やめてください。おい、何やってんだこれな。おら。危ない。やめてください。やめてください。血が出てるよ。
I think there's blood.
Shoko Asahara died by hanging on July 6, 2018. He was 63 years old. Asahara's body was cremated soon after he hanged at the Tokyo detention house, but his ashes remain there because his family disagrees over what to do with them. Authorities feared that giving the ashes to the family would turn into an item of worship for members still involved with the cult. One of the daughters of Asahara, who remains anonymous, was designated to receive his remains and to scatter his ashes into the Pacific. She had severed ties with her parents and had made statements regarding her childhood involvement with the cult. From the time I was around 2 or 3, I lived by myself in a room like a storehouse, with no windows. After my brother was born and I went into my mother's room, she turned me away saying, "There's no longer any room for you here." Both now and in the past, I never thought of my father as a dad. When I was born, my father was already a sect leader and a guru. I never once called him dad. The woman had claimed that she had been made to eat omelets with pieces of broken pot in them, and was even forced to stand outside in the cold for hours. This abuse made her fearful of being killed if she ever resisted her parents' wishes. She had apparently applied in December 2015 to be removed as an heir to the cult. The daughter and the lawyer agreed that it would be best to receive the ashes and scatter them in the ocean so that followers could not create a holy land with them. The lawyer also asked the government to support the daughter in order to protect her from the possible attacks.
Like, no doubt, it was carried out in a structured manner, right? That's how they got like so many people killed because of the train attack thing. But I'm not sure more people died through like this, because I know this gas thing was one thing. Did more people die through this or through like the Charles Manson group suicide thing? Because they all straight up drank cyanide or something, right? So they drank a mixture of a few things which basically like caused that chemical reaction to kill themselves from the inside, basically, right? There's some weird concoction which they basically drank on that one night. But I'm not sure where more people died.
From followers or any attempts to steal the ashes. In the end, she added, "What I want to say most now is that I want a system under which children can cut ties with their parents if there are marked problems," she said. "I'm grateful to my parents for giving birth to me, but I don't think I owe them anything when it comes to raising me. Considering the weight of my father's crimes, I don't think that there is any way for him to take responsibility but for the death penalty to be carried out." This was one of, if not the only child of Asahara who supported the death penalty on her father. Her siblings did not take kindly to that. Not long after this, her older sister came onto the media and even amongst other YouTube channels defending him, saying that their father was just mentally ill and pleaded for a retrial of his case. It was a day that I lost most of my sense of reality and my clock stopped ticking. People think of him as a monster, but he was human. Naturally, the public went completely against the older sister and believed she was still part of the cult, trying to keep her father's memory alive on good terms. She went on to publish a book called A Clock That Has Stopped. She went on to argue that her father was
Wait, can I
mental-
even show the weather here? Yeah, it's like 22 degrees here. It's pretty cold. What's up, Gio? Hope you're doing good. Gio, how are you not live? How are you not live? What is this? This site has been blocked from accessing your location. It's Google. It's pretty cold here. It's 12 plus. It's my dad's birthday. Oh shit. Wish him a happy birthday. But yeah, have fun. Have fun. We're going to do cut cake.
Mentally ill and should undergo treatment so people can hear what he has to say about the crimes. She has attempted suicide multiple times and has
35 degrees
regularly
and it's
tried
10
to visit
p.m.
her
Dude,
father
it's
in
pretty
Tokyo
hot in
detention
Sam's place
house,
as well.
but not once did the staff
even in
ever
Sam's
let
place,
her
it's
see
pretty
him.
hot. Dude, it's supposed to be like 35 for us as well, at least during the day. But for whatever reason, it just dipped. It just went down to like 22. It's been at 22 for at least a week now. So it was hot for like a while, and then it randomly just became cold. It's still the middle of summer somehow. I think he's sleeping. Probably will call him tomorrow. All right, makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I won't assume most adults like stay up. Like even my parents themselves like go to sleep around like 10:30 at max. So they get mad every single time they like see me awake at like 4 in the morning and stuff like that. Stuff like that. So like most of them, if they ever talk to family for like anniversaries or birthdays, it's always going to be like 8 in the morning and shit. It's cool because it stormed and rained yesterday. All right, I mean today. All right, that's cool. Sam, let's trade weather. Navy, just come here. Navy, just come
Japan
here.
removed most of its trash cans in fear that it could be a possible hiding spot for future attacks.
Yeah,
Most of the trash
here.
cans you'll
That's
find are
interesting.
usually near a vending machine and occasionally in a park and a train station here and there.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well,
Japan
Sam,
takes
shortage,
the
yo.
placement of their trash
After
cans
this
quite
video.
seriously. In 2014 and 2017, when Donald Trump and Barack Obama were visiting Japan, they tightened security and sealed the trash cans shut until the end of his visit. On New Year's 2019, a man by the name of Kazujiro Kusakabe intentionally plowed his car into a crowd in Harajuku district. He said it was in retaliation of the death penalty system. Investigation on linking his attack to the execution of the cultists who died the year prior.
What's your take on death penalty? What's your take on this? Special thanks for the raid too. We're in the middle of this year. Well, special thanks for the raid, dude. Great man. Most good thing. But yeah. Are you ready my back I have a drumstick. Give me the drumstick then. Give me the drumstick then. Oh shit, someone forget like as well. But alright, Mod, give a shout out to the cat as well. So how are you guys doing? Welcome to stream. What are you guys up to?
Nope.
Mahjong Soul. Interesting. Dude, I started Mahjong Soul. I played it for one day. And then I dropped it because I don't know how to play it. I'm fucking dumb. Take a grasp of Mecha's leg. No thanks. Mecha plays League. But yeah. We're doing great as well, Kit Kat. Dude, I'm going to I'm going to start playing Honkai again. Maybe the day after. After I submit like my assignment tomorrow. I may actually like start tomorrow. We will see. I'm going to start. I'm going to update it and tonight I'll play
swear
it
to
tomorrow.
God, this Sova.
That was a Venti's bug
This
team as well.
Sova, I
Doing great.
swear to. Okay. Calm down.
Fallow gamer. Interesting clip.
I just want some Yoimiya ass. I mean, wait. I want.
Bro, why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? That
Should not have stuff in
what
potato
happened
there. That was
every
risky.
single time in a Geo stream.
Oh. What the
Nivi's
heck?
name is an emote. Yeah, Nivi is an emote. You Geo, welcome to stream, Bay. Hope you're doing great. Welcome in. But yeah. Sure. No, wait. You're supposed to plug Bay, but alright. Well, there we go. Double plug. Always nice to double plug Bay. How are you doing, Bay? Welcome in as well.
But yeah, I wish there was be also German synchron.
Damn, not like this. I
That
thanks for
would
the
be
hydrate,
cool.
Dad. But dude, we were watching like a video, but which was kind of serious up till now. I mean, what it was kind of serious for the most part. But we switched to like watching fucking Johnny Depp and Amber Heard memes from like Aspen Gold like right after this. But yeah. Anyway, this is gonna be a weird thing to ask all the raiders right now. But we're on the topic at the moment because it happened in the video. What are your guys' takes on a death penalty system? And that's kind of sort of where we stopped and no one provided an answer. Because, dude, so I can provide like one kind of argument for this. Was basically, should be a norm for murder. Yeah, no doubt. So because death sentences aren't immediate, like ever. That's my unfiltered take. See, so death penalties, the way it works is that it's never immediate. It's never immediate, right? So basically, you get the death penalty. You're basically confined for like a while, and on a particular date, after not living a free life, you're killed instantly. I think it's a very quick way to put out someone. So I think if you're someone who has done like a base crime, it would make sense. But if you've done something really serious, for example, like an extreme case of murder, like torture and stuff involved in it, rape and all that shit, I think the death sentence should be like more severe. Like as if it's as long as it's not, what do you say, instantaneous, I think it would serve as like a warning much better than like instant death or like life sentences. Because it doesn't make sense. A life for a life. Yeah, but how is that a punishment? Dude, you can kill yourself as well. Most of these people who commit crimes are mentally ill, right? There's no way a random person, there's no way a normal person will go out of their way to commit a crime. And you basically have to deter crime from happening, which is something that just straight up does not happen anymore. It's a weird uh, topic, I guess, but that is then. That is then. So that's me on that sentences, I guess.
Prior is still unclear. Life after the event made it incredibly difficult for the children of Shoko Asahara to live normally. Everywhere they went was faced with discrimination and resentment. Colleges, universities, and part-time jobs dismissed applications once they knew who they were. Unfortunately, the end of Shoko Asahara and his followers did not end the cult's existence, and in fact had split into two cults, called Aleph and the Circle of Light. Circle of Light constantly tries to make it public that they have nothing to do with Om. Aleph also tries to make it clear that they have nothing to do with Shoko Asahara. But the Public Security Intelligence Agency warns that Aleph and the Circle of Light still remain devoted to Asahara in their own ways, while Om Shinrikyo is designed as a terrorist organization by several countries. These two subcults are still legal in Japan, but under heightened surveillance and deemed as dangerous.
Also, most ancient historical cities were peaceful. They were scared of the horrible torture methods and punishment. Yeah, exactly, right. But then at some point, people are like, "Oh no, it's too inhuman. I don't like it." I'm like, so what, dude? Bro, that's literally the whole point of a punishment. You torture criminals. If they're torturing like normal people, you can torture criminals. That should not be an issue. Human rights, my left butt cheek, dude. Like, if they don't give a shit, why do you have to give a shit when it comes to these people? Like, they're doing this because they don't give a shit. Why do you have to like do something that's humane for them? They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Doesn't make sense.
Religious organizations. And today, the police still carry out investigations and raids against the cults. In November 2017, the police raided 5 offices of Aleph after investigating a woman who was spending tens of thousands of yen for study sessions. But the group still reportedly has about 2,100 members and continues to recruit new members under the name Aleph. But in 2019, the Tokyo court demanded Aleph to pay out more than 1 billion yen to the victims of the attack. March 20th, 2021 marks 26 years since the event, and victims and families are still affected today. Every year, a memorial service is held at Kasumigaseki Station, where citizens can pay their respects in memory of those who were harmed. Sakamoto-san is still highly respected today at his family's memorial. Since the attack of 1995, Japan has never been the same. When people see cult members, they never really think about the process of a person getting there. They just see the result. Everyone in life is on their own journey trying to find happiness, and sometimes that journey brings you into a crowd who wants to take advantage of that happiness. Cults will recruit you with positivity and the promise of a better life. They find someone who is at their most fragile and tell them exactly what they want to hear in order to stay. And in worst cases like Om Shinrikyo, will threaten you once recruited. The one thing I think everyone should take away from stories about cults, if nothing else, is always think for yourself. No matter how desperate you are for a better life, always try to look at the bigger picture and weigh your options. Just because someone smiles at you and consoles you when you're down,
it's weird,
doesn't mean
it's weird. Alright, wait. So before we start like the memes thing, more than half of parliament members has an ongoing murder or sexual assault case. Yeah, you know what the weirdest part is? The weirdest part is, what do you say? What the fuck? Yeah, the weirdest part is that most of these political members basically are protected while they're on term. Like, you can't do anything to political party members while they're still holding their position. I don't know why it's like a thing. They're just protected from everything. They can do literally anything they want. They'll only face the repercussions once they're off duty. But they can choose to stay on duty if people keep wanting us there. And I think a good number of political supporters are extremists. And that's why this is not a democracy anymore. They just call it democracy. But as this country, I don't really give a shit. I'm leaving this place in like a year or something. Year or two. I don't know, we'll see.
Filter Amber, okay.
I'm not staying here. What is this? Anyway, we're on a lighter topic now.
It looks like the expression I make for the YouTube thumbnails.
Oh wait, I was going to do this like earlier. I don't know why while I switched away I didn't do that.
Stop being depressed. If you are short, then grow up. If you are racist, stop being racist. If you need a house, then just get a house. If you are anxious, relax.
Most people have a class. You have class on a Sunday. How, Nivy? How do you have class on a Sunday? But I'll see you around, Nivy. I'll see you around. Yeah, take care, Nivy. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. That face? Yeah, dude. Just put like a Disney filter on her. Jesus.
Holy shit, what is this?
What is this?
Oh my god.
Class on Sunday? Yeah, why do you have class on Sunday?
God, that's so fucking bad, man.
Well,
I think the best thing about this is the fact that no matter
weekends
what
here Friday
happens,
and Saturday. What? Why not
she
Sunday?
will forever be
Why not
Amber
Sunday?
Turd. And that's it. That's literally all there is to it, and there is no nothing that anybody can do about that.
Maybe it's an
Jason
illness
speaks
she
the
has.
truth.
No,
Here
dude,
we
that's
go.
not how she looks. That's a filter. That's a filter, Bay. Nice.
Perfect spot. Okay, could you please?
Oh,
state
I
your
haven't
full
seen this
name?
by the way.
What
I have
is
not.
this?
Jason Momoa. Mr. Momoa, do you know Amber
Okay.
Heard? I do. Hi, Amber. Don't talk to her. So how do you know Amber?
Oh, this is not real. This is not real. Never mind.
So you work together as actors, right?
No.
As janitors. Mr. Momoa, you have to take this serious.
Okay, dude.
Okay.
Jesus.
He's actually Aquaman. You say you
Not
felt
janitor.
A filter? Yeah, it's a filter. That's not what she looks like.
Amber on the set.
I was confused. Don't worry about it.
So there was
This is what she looks like.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Why? What happened?
I wouldn't say that.
Amber and I were
No, it's not real.
It was just the two of us. And she pointed at the water and said, "Look at that beautiful brown fish."
Yeah?
So what seems to be the issue? I'm not following. Any wildlife in the water would be computerized, so that was a brown fish. I don't understand.
Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Nice. Nice. I feel so bad for Johnny Depp. Dude, I do as well. But what you have to keep in mind is, like, no doubt, this guy's been, like, victimized so much throughout the entire course of, like, this entire thing for the past 5-6 years. But this guy isn't, like, what do you say? Like, a god or anything. Like, not like someone you look up to either. Like, they're both terrible people. But this guy is straight up. That chick is messed up, dude. Amber Heard is such a mess. It's just weird, but what are you gonna do about it?
Mr.
Holy
Momoa,
shit.
How do you even know?
So
what
I just know. So the thing is, with this trial, no one is going to jail either. It's just a defamation lawsuit. So at the end of the day, all that's going to happen is that people will believe in Johnny Depp again, and Amber Heard basically gets shit on. That's all this case does.
Even take a
So it's
picture
utterly useless. It's just been going on for a week. It's almost over.
The
but
name.
I think it's over. I'm not
Any
sure.
evidence?
Oh, rep. Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
What is this? How did Ugh. What fucking interview even is this? Oh my god. Okay, alright, you know what?
Alright.
That was funnier than I thought it was gonna be. Is this real? Yeah, this is real, guys. It's totally fucking real.
Oh yeah, it's real. It's definitely real.
Yeah, totally fucking real, guys. 100% fucking real. And actually, you know what? There are some people that probably don't know, guys.
Women.
It's actually not real. The comments. A few of these. I don't think they're gonna get any more like really popular like celebrity people to do that. How did that thing even come out of her? Oh my god.
Okay,
Did you
dude.
see in the pool?
Okay,
He's not a
dude.
janitor. He's actually Aquaman. What was the guy in the back laughing about? Def's lawyer counterspelled the whole redirect with objections. Yeah, I remember seeing that, and then he walked out of the room. Is this a thing that happened? People actually don't know if this happened or not. That's actually fucking great, man. My partner actually showed me this last night.
Like,
That's
if
how
you know
far
Jason
all
Momoa
this is
supposed
spreading.
depth.
That's fucking great, man.
There's this.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, this guy started crying, dude. He started laughing so hard he had to leave.
Yeah, I wonder what really happened there. The bee incident. Yep, there you go. Man's crying. Yeah, he was just fucking laughing his ass off, dude. The bee incident. Holy fucking shit. It was just, you know what happened? I couldn't catch it all scream. This dude leave during the redirect sunlock. Yeah, I think it was because that like the girl couldn't ask any questions. I think that's really what it was. Female looks like Camille Vasquez. Yeah, I don't know about that. I personally don't fucking think so at all. But honestly, my hair is getting that long on its own. Look at that. Holy
dude.
Shit. Like, I probably need to. I
No
think I'm
way.
probably gonna cut it.
No
and that way
shot,
it
dude.
looks a little bit better. I'm not.
I
gonna
heard before I
cut it
sleep on my
super
daily
short,
nightmares. Have fun,
but I'm gonna
Sam.
cut it just so it's not as like fucking
Have fun, dude.
wild and like crazy and shit. You know. I just want to in general like have it under control. And that's it. Yeah. Don't cut it. No. I'm not saying I'm gonna cut it. I'm just saying I'm going to. Don't listen to Izzy. Sure. I'm just saying we'll see what happens. Okay. John. Oh my. Bro, this shit, that's actually fucked up. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, that's some nasty ass shit.
Come back and I'm not
like,
too
what
scared.
the
Have fun,
fuck,
Sam.
dude?
Wait.
That's funny.
Why is that
that's
poop on her
not
face?
funny.
Oh. So, Bay, I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that you haven't actually watched any of the trial, and you probably have only heard that the trial is happening, right? Am I safe to make that assumption? Also, isn't this chocolate, technically? I didn't, yeah. So at one point in the trial, this happened pretty early on, probably like second or third week into the trial. I'm not sure when. It could have been the first week. I don't remember. One of the things that got brought up was that Amber Heard took a shit on Johnny Depp's bed, and someone called it a prank. I don't get how it's a prank. I don't know why she shat in the middle of his bed. But that's how the name Amber Turd came on. Amber Heard dropped a massive turd on the bed. And she got the name Amber Turd. There we go. Context. For everyone who was unaware. Dude, according to her, apparently everything is fake. Her own team is fake. Her psychologist is fake. All the doctors that have like done everything for her is fake. Everyone is fake. Except for like everything she's saying. So yeah, what the fuck? Jenny, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing great. Wait, Jenny, have you not? Oh, you haven't been following this either because you thought it's stupid, right? Dude, this whole case is fucking jokes, man. But how are you doing, Jenny? Welcome to stream as well. I think my mod went to like cry himself to sleep watching horror. Matilda screen cap meme? Yeah, it's pretty funny. Pretty funny. But yeah, how are you doing, Jenny? Hope your stream went well earlier as well.
What is that with
I get a
all
lot of
the
clips on my
pro
TikTok.
ladies, like,
Nice.
big? They got me down bad. It's embarrassing.
From the
I
trial,
love
dude.
cryo, I love
I probably would have
users,
seen
I
a lot
love
of clips
women. It ticks every single box.
on TikTok as well. What is that clip? That was a random clip. I get a lot of clips like only through like YouTube because TikTok isn't available in my country. But here we are. Here it is, I guess. It is what it
I'll
is.
get you next. You're particularly annoying.
Yes, I love Dental.
Oh wow, you just aimed upwards when
How do you have so many random clips, Jenny, are in? But yeah, I would go check out Jenny as well. Extremely cool streamer. I think probably one of my favorite streamers. The only issue with like me watching Jenny is that she streams the same time as me. So it's fucking sad. I would be there more. Love Asmongold? I do too, Jenny. I do too. So here we are. Also, what's up, Sean? Hope you're doing great. Yeah. So yeah, dude, that's the only issue I have with like Jenny streams, is that I can't watch them. I can't watch them because she streams at the same time as me. And then usually when I try rating her, you guys know this. Whenever I try rating her, she's either not online or she's ending at almost the same time as well. And I'll be like, bro, not like this. Geo is here. I'm out here. Not like this, baby. Come back. Come back. Oh yeah, unlucky. Unlucky. Yeah. Love ending streams. Oof. Not like this. But yeah, that's my only issue. So like whenever I'm not streaming myself, or like today when she had like an extremely early stream for some reason, I end up dropping by her streams. I actually like the vibes a lot. Always nice to just like vibe in streams that have good vibes, right? So I can't say that for everyone, but I can 100% say that for Jenny. As then. SO resetted unlucky.
That's bad, man. That is absolutely.
But yeah, that's
bad,
the history
Matilda.
of the
Yeah,
Amber Turd.
That movie always
meme.
weirded me out whenever I was younger, man. It really was, and look way better with long hair. Yeah, a lot of people think that, but there's some people that think otherwise. And yeah, it's fucking nasty. Amber trying to convince us to pledge and donate are the same thing. That's as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs. The thing is, like,
Bro,
I find
dude,
it to be very.
She's dodged so many questions because she doesn't know how to answer them. The fact that Camille actually fucking called her out for it every single time, it was so funny.
Funny that
it's so dumb.
Like anybody, like how, like nobody believes this, right? I mean, like nobody actually believes that she was using pledge and donate interchangeably. Like it's just obvious that that wasn't the case. It is. It's just fucking obvious. Not at all. Yeah, nobody believes this. It's fucking crazy. And yeah, it's like you spend a year and you don't donate the money. I think it's obvious. She's just gaslighting. Exactly. And it's like the gaslighting and stuff like that, it works really well whenever you're dealing with people that care about you and that have some sort of reason to stay invested in you. But whenever you're just doing this to a normal person who doesn't give a shit about you, somebody hears that and they say, shut up, idiot. Shut up, idiot. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Nope. Yeah, that's about it. Nobody wants to hear that garbage. When you clean the toilet so nicely, the only piece of shit left is your reflection.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Oh no, she shat on. It says here she shat on the captain's pillow. As I said, I feel like that is the lawyers really this week should emphasize that. They really should emphasize that because it's just so depraved. It's so like just it's ridiculous.
Same
it's
here.
disgusting.
All right. Just chat, man.
Like yeah, it's gotta be there. Yeah, it's like they should be like so, and they should drill down on it and talk about Amber Turd again and just everything like that. I think they should go as far as they possibly can. And yeah, they'll blame the dog that can go up the stairs. Yeah, but what if they did like a DNA test on it or something like that? And as one should see this, it proves Amber made the bruises. Here we go.
Not a bruise kit, it's a theater makeup.
Queen, did you mean this theater makeup bruise kit? It's literally called Bruise and Abrasions. It's for theater, and it's meant to make bruises, sweet girl.
Oh,
you mean this
no.
one? It's meant to make fake bruises.
Dude,
Is
my
that what's
ex
in it?
used to use this shit.
Give me 1 second. I'll show you what I mean.
I don't know why she loved using it so much. She should have used to take pictures
Bruise
and
kit.
post it online.
Bruise kit, Queen.
Like not when
This
she
one?
was me, obviously. This is like after
Where you
like
make the bruises?
my art with her, I guess.
Oh, this one?
Huh.
Theatrical bruise kit?
Huh.
You knew exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, I have no idea what she was doing, but
You,
it,
you,
it's
you
a
weren't
thing.
covering up anything.
And literally anyone can get
You're
it.
making
And
something.
surprisingly,
We
it's
all
not that
know.
expensive.
We all know.
That's really interesting. Holy shit. It's actually real.
Dude,
like
I love how she started off the video by saying, "Queen, excuse me."
Look at
Like,
that.
what the fuck?
Oh my fucking god. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe that's not the case, but it certainly looks odd, man. Women are wizards. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck this makeup shit works, okay? Like, I've never put on makeup. One time I had to go on a show. I think it's actually twice, and they had to put powder on my face because I was so greasy that it would reflect off of the light on the camera.
Nice.
So, besides that, I've never really done anything like that.
Nice.
So, I feel like there's so many holes in the story.
Dude, I've
Like,
had makeup put on me, I think, a good amount. I think I've spoken about, like, how I was part of, like, my school's annual days and shit growing up as well, right? And, like, just randomly doing, like, random drama shit, random fashion walks and all that. I just had, like, makeup on me, like, a lot. So I grew up, I think I spent a lot of time on makeup now I think about it. But I don't think I've ever done it in college. Oh, no, that's not true. I have, like, put on eyeliner and shit, like, a bunch of times. Because I thought it was always fun. Like, going around in eyeliner and shit was always interesting to have.
I mean, do you even really gonna take this
That's also
seriously
my
at
emo
all?
art,
I mean,
I
I
guess,
don't know what
but
to say.
same thing.
It's fucking crazy, man. When she said bruise kit, that was a Freudian slip.
I think the only thing I was missing was like
it
black
seems
lipstick.
that way, yeah.
Otherwise, I got everything
So
else down.
the
I had
Depp
black nail
Heard
polish,
trial is so much
eyeliner,
worse than you
fucking
realize.
winged eyeliner, dude. How cool that looks.
Thank God. Have you seen V Rising? I think that we might play V Rising this week coming up. We might take a day off and play.
I'll go back to my femboy arc at some point.
I might as well, and I'll give it a legitimate try and,
Be a
and
good
see what it's like.
transition
So
before
many
I
people have
actually
asked me
swap
about
over
it.
to
And I think
entirely
it could be
female, I guess.
interesting to play.
We'll see.
Yeah, why not? But we're gonna do Elden Ring first, okay? Yeah, it's gonna be an amazing game. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Sponsored? Probably not. No, I'll probably just play it. Yeah, I'll probably play it and give my honest opinion. That's what it is. Yeah, I'll probably do that. When you realize the Depp Heard trial is so much worse than you realize. Amber Heard is just the first target of a new extremist playbook. The media has covered the Greer's trial, the referendum on the Me Too movement, and a siren call to domestic abusers. Holy shit. Trial memes, almost universally weighted against Heard's, have taken over every corner of the internet. From TikTok to Twitch.
Dude, I can't imagine how many...
To Etsy. Even Saturday Night Live has lampooned what has been portrayed as the many excesses and absurdities of the trial testimony. For TikTok, totally unrelated accounts seem to have given themselves over to full-time Depp Heard mockery. Yep, that's what we've been doing, I know. And sure, Amber Heard cried when she was on the stand, but did you see how ridiculous she looked while she was doing it? Yep, and so this is another, what we still haven't learned. This really tells you the whole story you need to hear, right? This is a related article. What we still haven't learned from Gamergate.
Nice.
Holy shit. I can't believe
Nice.
people like this
Bro.
still fucking exist. Isn't it
Fucking
fucking
walked,
like Gamergate?
man.
This was like in 2014.
I swear to God.
Holy shit. It's like years ago. This is nearly almost 10 years ago. Gamergate. Holy fucking shit. Do you know what Gamergate was? I remember this. It was people were pissed off that video game journalists were friends and getting money and kickbacks from the developers. That's what people were pissed off about, and they were giving fake fucking reviews. That's what it really was. Everything else was just some bullshit. It was just morons that attached themselves to the issue. Yeah, and even sex, yes, I remember that too. Yeah, it's never brought up. Of course it's never brought up, because the people that care about it have already moved on. That's it, yeah. That's not what it turned into? Who cares what it turned into? I don't give a shit about that. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me at all. No, I just care about what it was. That's what I was about, yeah. I was so fucking sick of that shit. People spent the last decade hashtagging Believe Women Fighting online. Over the course of this trial, crawled into bed with the vilest kinds of internet refuse.
Oof.
At least 12
12% of whom don't actually
Was
exist.
this the right phrase to use in a video, or sorry, an article defending Amber Heard? Crawled into bed with the vilest kinds of refuse?
Possibly
I
also
don't,
was like Captain
yeah,
Jack Sparrow.
yeah,
Alright,
that's really like, I
Sure,
mean,
man,
of all
I
the
believe
things
that.
to say, that is really one of the things that you probably shouldn't say. At least 11%
I
of
was
them don't
pregnant,
actually
it was
exist,
steamed,
according to
couldn't
one
get as well.
bot researcher. Possibly all because they really like Captain Jack Sparrow. So these are people QAnon conspiracy, sinister narrative, ideological radicalization,
Okay,
irrational groupthink.
okay, damn,
You're
that's
right,
a lot of
and
big
that's
words.
why a lot of people are pissed
That is
off.
a lot of big words.
It's a response to that. Yes, I know that there are very many people who are unhappy because their narrative is crumbling and they no longer have the stranglehold around media and around the public. The public no longer no longer allows them to dictate morality. That's why they're angry. That's why these websites are making these articles, is because if people continue this way, these websites lose all credibility. Literally nobody cares, because all they have is their credibility. Like, nobody cares about the articles. Nobody gives a fuck about it. Who cares? Nobody cares about that and any of this stuff, right? So the moment that like people stop caring about their opinions, they're in the dirt. That's it. Nobody gives a fuck about it. Vox credibility.
We're watching drama always, dude. Always drama.
And yeah, you're right. There is. And
one day I'll have drama
with a lot
with
of people out
well.
there
I
are
can't wait
just
for that to
fucking
happen.
sick and tired of hearing bullshit. And so they see articles and they see the stuff that's happened for years, and they see what happened with the trial, and they're turning around and they're saying, fuck you, we're not going to listen to you anymore. We don't care what you think. And that's it. Yeah, that's literally all there is to it. It doesn't matter.
I don't want to start the drama though. I want someone else to start it.
And so this is why they're all in on defending
I was talking about this in Navy today.
It's because their complete
interesting.
reputation
I've been talking
is
about
on
this
the
for like a
line.
week.
Because if the public really just believes Johnny Depp and that's it, then all of the ideas and everything that they've said.
I think
over
most of this
these
chat like
years and
follows
years
it though.
and
I
years
just think
of,
I'm like one of those
telling
fucking
people that believe all women,
brain
etc.,
rot morons.
it
Just like
just
sits on the
completely
internet and
shatters that
like
narrative.
watches bullshit like this.
It totally shatters that narrative, and nobody believes it anymore. That's all there is to it.
It's fun listening to like Asman and like XQC and all these guys talk about it, because even their takes are
PR's
it's
in
taken
shambles,
in such a
exactly.
funny manner. I just
think
like
they should
like
keep
watching
the-
it. I've followed
like,
this since day one.
What this
I haven't-
makes me want to do.
I haven't followed this since day one, but I've kept up with it like almost regularly. So every once in a while, every 2 to 3 days, I just binge watch all of these like our time. So like I binge watch like 8 hours of content and shit. I wonder when this is gonna end. I think this is like the last week of it. But yeah, I saw XQC's take. Yeah, XQC posts like very rarely by comparison to Asman's. Asman like literally uploads his streams to YouTube. Like, so I just entirely watched the entire thing. Kira, why are you looking Jenny now? Interesting. Yeah, the trial gets over this week, I think. I think this is the last week of the trial. I'm not sure. This is either the last or the second last week. But it's basically almost over. I mean, it was very funny. Dude, this whole thing is funny.
Just so
like I've mentioned this several times before. I'm having so much more fun watching this than with any movie or show that has released in the past 5 to 6 years. All right, well, they're licking each other.
Is to push even harder against it.
All right, what do you guys
will
do?
Never
Just
stop
don't give
pushing
birth,
harder
my chat.
against
That's
this, and I will
my,
never
I think
stop
I have to add that
just
as a rule.
completely shitting on them.
Not
And the
lick
thing
people I
is
like.
that
I will not
these people
say anything
are
about that sentence.
fundamentally
Not even in
fragile
public.
fucking babies.
Man,
because
I don't
all
know.
they
I'm
do
not
is
going to
they
comment any
complain
further.
about what other people can't say
Johnny better
and
win.
can't do.
Dude, even if he wins, nothing's gonna come out of it. This entire trial is useless. This entire trial is useless. All that's going to happen is that people know that Amber is a shit. But people already know that Amber is a shit from the way everything's been handled by her herself. She doesn't even need her team to make her look bad. She does it herself. Dude, she doesn't even need the other lawyers to make her look bad. She does that herself. Johnny's there for his image. Yeah, true. True, no doubt. But it's a defamation case at the end of the day. It's not like suing or anything. So nobody actually wins. Both sides technically lose. Because now this entire thing is a fucking spectacle on the internet. It is what it is. I'm hungry, then get something to eat, Eve. Or come over, I have food.
So you know what?
Or something.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Every single time I'm gonna win because they're obnoxious, fragile fucking babies
Isn't
that
it late for
complain
you?
about
Like,
everything.
some sleep.
And I don't give a fuck about what they think. And you know what's so fucking beautiful is that nobody else does either. These articles are just laughed at and not taken seriously, and the public is starting to take back their own fucking image, and they're starting to take back their own train of thought and not have it be dictated to them by fucking journalists that just have no fucking idea what's going on and that talk to each other and all agree with each other. That's all there is to it. What's up? These articles just not talk about it at all.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Because
I think the other day when I met Weeb was like defending like journalism and shit. I'm like, nah, dude, I can't. Like, I don't give a shit if you spent so many years studying about journalism. I think it's dumb. I think it's possibly one of the stupidest things I've seen in my life. Like I think me brain rotting on the internet is far more valuable to society than journalism at this point.
They have to protect their reputation. Because if this happens, it
Like,
completely shatters.
Dude, we have streamers like literally giving us news. We have like random people giving us news without any experience, and it's done in a much better manner than like news companies.
Their credibility.
Funny.
That's why they're all defending her. They're all in on this because their reputation completely depends on this happening. Because if it doesn't happen, it means everything that they've been pushing for the last 3 years, and really more than that, is completely transparent. It doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, no,
the worst thing to do is to try to bite someone and then show them that you don't have teeth. Because then they know you're weak. And that's why. Agenda talking points. Yes, exactly. And start with the trial and the sun. Yeah, dentures. What? Well, what I'm saying is that, like, what? Let me explain what I mean by that. Is that, is it a toothless bite? Yeah, it's a toothless bite. So basically, if they can't assert their authority over this situation, what that means is that their power is irrelevant anymore.
That's
it's
true.
Gone now.
Basically,
Nobody
right.
cares. So if they can't push a narrative for this, because this is a narrative that they've been believing forever.
Bro, this is what like media just does, right? In general, they're there to push like a certain like mindset concept, I guess. Like, you know, something bad happening and then saying no one was there to help. I'm like, bro, you're right there. You could have saved it. Yeah, but why should they? Right, Stragner? Like, why should they? That's not their job. You're not going to get paid for like saving someone. If you go and save someone, someone else covers it for you, and they make it their article, or someone else will take it. They're basically yoink content from you. Right? Do you get it? Why should they do it? And that's their mindset as well. They'd much rather fill their quota than like be a regular fucking human being, right? Well, Gromy, welcome to stream as well. Hope you're doing good. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in.
If they can't push the
I'm gonna stay
narrative
away from
for
media
it,
people.
and they
Yeah, I don't
can't
really care.
control it in the same
I don't
way
look at
that
news
they
and all
had
that shit.
been,
So whenever I
then
see
that
shit on the
means that
internet,
the
I'll
power
see
that they
shit.
had,
If it
they have
appears
no
in
teeth
front of my
anymore.
eyes, it appears. If not, I don't care.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Like,
All bark.
if this entire Johnny Depp was the Amber Heard thing, did not get it like put on my feed because of XQC and Asmongold, I would have not watched it. I would have not given a shit because I wouldn't even know what is happening because I don't care about celebrities. Because I think celebrities are terrible people, regardless of what kind of celeb they are. There's probably a very small handful of like celebs who I like, but I still won't follow them because I don't care. It doesn't matter. I bring a jammer. All right, we got a song. Can we add this? Oh Jesus! Jesus Christ! How loud is this? All right. So what I'm gonna do, a media person isn't fire, I'll take out fire extinguisher, sit on it, record him. Why do you do that though? Just be a better person. Just be a better person. If you ever find yourself in a weird situation which you can't tell yourself, just be the better person. Right? That seems like a good enough point of action, right? Kind of action, I mean. Dude, I want to play Crab Game again. Dude, this game still isn't out. This is the most watched music video on YouTube. No. 2 years ago. Interesting. Oh, play sometime. I have it. I know a lot of people have it. I want to play it, but I want people to like join in first. So I need people to respond whenever I ask them if they want to play Tab Game, but no one does.
No bite. Yeah, they're toothless. That's why. And who would be afraid of something that's toothless? Nothing. That's the way it goes. Yeah, that's what happens. And worked in California, that was it. Yeah, Amber lied in a sense that UN's donation didn't count towards her pledge. I mean, she lied like 3 or 4 times. There's nothing special about that specific one. Don't you think the Believe All Women narrative encouraged more women to come forward with their real stories, otherwise it wouldn't have? Yeah, I think it was positive in a certain way, but I think that if you use things categorically on a gender basis, it's a bad thing. There's a lot of things that are done bad that have a positive outcome in a certain sort of a secondary effect. I think many times that's what happens, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the action was good or the messaging was
It's
good.
1:22 a.m. I'm
So, yeah,
aware.
of course.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're awake.
And,
I thought you
what's
just
this here?
come
You're
and
right,
say hi
journalism
and
is all about
dip
clickbait and
like
views.
you
It's not
usually
just
do.
money. When Tom retired, Larry King died. We lost some real leaders in journalist community.
So
In my
surprising, I guess.
opinion, I think that like the clickbait and stuff like that definitely does matter, but it does. Whenever you have a place that just always does clickbait and stuff like this, eventually
come say hi and dip. I'm well
people
aware.
will just
I'm
stop
well aware.
caring. Like they stop taking it seriously. And I think that fundamentally what the difference
But
is
leave
that,
the
is
Steam
that
open. That's
media
interesting.
has had a stranglehold on culture.
I usually leave
for
my laptop
whole
off
life.
whenever I go to sleep.
And I think that now on Twitter,
I think it's during my afternoon
there's
naps
been
when I leave them
much more of a
open. Otherwise,
democratization
closed. But I'm
of
not going to be on the
culture
laptop.
by the people for the people. And it's no longer being dictated what is acceptable and not acceptable by people that live in Los Angeles or people that live in New York or people that live in Hollywood or make movies. People just together can just decide, well, we don't agree with this and it's stupid. And you want to know the first time that happened? It happened during COVID. Whenever
I close
you
my laptop
saw
during my
all of
afternoon
these
nap. I leave
celebrities
them
and all
open
these
because I get
people
like
crying and looking for
2 to 3
attention
hours
on social
in the middle.
media because they can't go out and be famous movie stars anymore because everybody has COVID. And that was the moment where it started to change, where you started seeing people start resenting these, popular voices and popular forces in culture and actually turn their backs towards them and say, actually, you're worth nothing. Nobody cares about you and we don't care about what you have to say anymore. And that's literally all there is to it. And that's exactly what happened. And it's only deteriorated from there. And I think that it's a great thing.
Oh, Drifter.
As
Over
I've said
Steam. Over doing
before,
good.
I think that the the way that America like builds up these people, right? These like celebrities and stuff like this, I absolutely fucking hate it. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, dude.
And I've always
I
felt
literally
this
said the
way.
same thing.
Yeah, tired
I
of playing
literally said the
sacrifice.
same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Gym
literally
is
there's still a
fun.
downfall
Well,
of the trust
have
of
fun at the
media.
gym, dude.
Yeah, there you go. Interesting point. I think it's
Why are you
especially
going to
important
gym at
in
like
few barriers
1
for
in the
notable
morning?
people in general
1 in
public.
the night.
If I want to tell Amber Heard I think she's a piece of shit, don't have to go through her spokesperson to do it now. Exactly. Yeah, people have control over their own media now. People have control over their own culture now, and it's not being dictated to them
Oh, no,
by,
Aaron.
a half a dozen media companies anymore. And so, yeah, I think that it first started happening, and the cracks first started showing with COVID, and people laughing and memeing on celebrities, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and I hope it keeps getting worse. I do. I hope.
True.
That
I
people
also hope
keep
it gets
shitting on
worse.
this
We'll get
stuff.
like good
I
content
hope
out of
that
it.
people keep taking
It'll be
back
funny.
their own right to be able to think for themselves, and I'm really happy to see this happen. Yeah, I hope it keeps getting worse. Aswan forgets he's part of the media? I am, and you should always take that into consideration. I could just be lying for my own
Who
personal
is this?
benefit.
Asmongold,
Never
dude.
forget about
How do you
that,
not know Asmongold? That was fun. Watched random shit. Made fun of random shit. Pretty funny. You win if you don't laugh. Part 3. Wait, Gromy, did you send earlier? Oh, you sent a song. You said something else. Dude, you know what's weird? So if you go to if you try uploading images like this to Discord, like if it's just the face, if an image is just a face, it gets striked as explicit content. Why? Watch Charlie's video. What did Charlie put on? He didn't put out anything. He put out a podcast. He hasn't put out anything. He hasn't put out anything. Fake Critical, dude, they're literally very different streamers. They're not the same kind of streamer at all. Asmongold called out by a fan. Alright. Alright, we get this again. We're getting like more of these. Damn, a lot of like these dudes like just switched into like talking about crime and shit. I think it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. Few days back when you already saw it, dude, I've watched all Charlie's videos. Like I don't save Charlie's videos for stream and stuff. Like I don't mind rewatching some of them, but I watched all of them already. I watch all of Charlie's videos the moment they drop. So if I'm ever watching it on stream, it's because the video just came out. It's because he just uploaded the video and I was there. That's when I watched it on stream. Otherwise, I watched it by myself. Also, so this is what I meant. I've shown Visualocity a couple of times in my streams
What do you
before.
think the inside of Xenojiva's mouth tastes like?
Right.
It looks edible. It looks edible.
I'm reducing
Damn,
volume for like a
I
bit
was right
because I
in
want to
the
talk
Xeno
for it.
Jesse, right? Oh, Wolf, no.
This is what I want to do.
Walking into my room and
This is
not
what I
hearing the
want to do
Funky
when I
Kong
say
thing
I want to do
on repeat.
commentary
Alright.
videos on
It's
YouTube.
weird, man. That's the only thing I
No.
like about modding. Anyways, welcome back
Compared
to
to
the channel.
me,
I
he's
am not
obviously a
sure what
much
we're
bigger
doing today,
creator.
Alright, I just wanted
Compared to
some
me, he's a
Monster
much
Hunter
better
in me. Is my
creator.
mic on? Oh shit.
But I want to do
I think
stuff
I had
like this.
accidentally enabled when I
I
was
want to
playing
do stuff
Destiny.
like this
Oh, yeah, I did.
because I
forgot
think
my
it's
mic
very
was on,
chill.
and I aggressively burped
It's
in the mic.
very
That
fun.
shit was like Badlands
And I
chugs
think
and
people
I
who
was
just
like,
like
oh, this is
vibing,
gonna hit, I swear.
like listening to shit
This
like
is
this.
gonna hit. It's gonna hit.
Because
Man, what
it's
the
not
fuck? Yo,
like
he's doing so
it's not
much damage.
let's
Slice
plays
the
and
hill
shit.
me,
It's
please.
not like role playing
There
and
you go,
stuff.
thank you.
Then try it, dude. Alright. So
Over
the
here
thing with
struggling
me
at
having
highlighting
tried this
content,
is
man. This
that
shit hurt.
I have to learn video
I
editing
was
first.
sleeping on Xenojiva for a long time.
I'll
This
pick
shit
up
gotta
video
be-
editing.
come on,
So
come
from
on.
what I've learned, a lot of people have mentioned
Ah, look at the girth
that
behind
video
that
editing is
slam.
much
This is
easier
why
than
I
art
play
and stuff.
great
This is what
swords,
Pixie mentioned
even
yesterday,
though
by
it
the
does
way,
hurt
when
when
we were
I miss.
talking
God
about
damn.
it.
Yeah, what the fuck? This is
I
hard
may
rank,
pick it up
ain't it?
soon.
Ow.
I
Fucking
want to
game
start
like
doing
4
this.
years
I'll
old,
probably
man. Now I
start
got
doing
the
it
wrong
with like
armor
Monster
on.
Hunter
I'm not
Corner
even
again.
sure. Like, fucking God, please stop yelling so I can hit you. Oh my God.
I'm not sure how it'll work though, because
no,
I don't think
I'm not dead.
most of
I'm
like
not dead.
Twitch, my Twitch
I
audience
think
will
I'm
transfer over
dead.
there.
I'm
It's
not
like
dead.
watching videos
I'm not
randomly.
dead.
This
I'm
video
not
has
dead.
basically
I'm
only
fine.
cuts in it.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Dude, I was,
Yeah.
no lie, I was
So
fucking
it's just
scared, man.
you
My whole
talking
hunting
for like a
career was
while,
flashing before my
but it's
eyes.
only the
All
interesting bit.
1,200 hours.
It's only the interesting
I
bit
fucking hate
to make it
Oh damn.
fun. It's a
Oh,
10-minute
shit,
long
I'm next.
YouTube
I'm about to
video
be next.
that I upload like once
No,
a day,
Karma, please.
which is
Okay, we
me
good.
just
No,
talking
we're
shit.
not. We're not good. This is not
And I think
fine.
that'll be fun.
This is not fucking fun.
You want to go motion graphics and
I'm gonna die
VFX?
here, okay, we're the Elpers. All right.
I don't know then.
We are the end
That's very
game
easy to do. Don't
completers,
worry about that.
elite,
Alright, yeah, I just want to
elite.
pick that up.
Don't lie, I got the
So if I can
reaction
pick
time
that
of
up,
a fetus. I think the problem
then
is I gave
I'll
y'all my
start
luck
doing
buff,
it.
and now I don't have the luck buff.
Like,
Don't
it's just
worry,
me talking
reset
shit.
next week.
But I just had to like come prepared with topics
my
and all to
shit
talk
back.
about because
What
I
the
want to
fuck?
be talking about a chat.
Do anything,
Like I
man.
mentioned
This
before,
big-ass
the
glow
stuff I
stick.
want to make on
Like, what the
YouTube,
fuck?
it's just me talking randomly about shit.
I am the worst.
I mean,
help you
granted,
can
I will also
possibly
like
get.
reference streams and like people from
I swear to
streams.
God.
So I'll probably talk about like
I am not helping him whatsoever.
Romy and Chrome and all
I'm
these
over here
guys,
struggling
which
my
should be
damn
pretty funny.
self. I'm blaming Destiny for this.
It should be fun.
Fucking, he tried to blind it.
But yeah, I'll just talk about random shit for the most part while I'm playing a
I don't even
game.
think it has eyes,
So it's
does it?
literally again a game just running in the
It has
background
sensors.
while I'm doing stuff.
Ouch, Jesus
Nice.
Christ.
Nice. He died there. He cut it out.
Yo, Xenojiva's so strong, my Xbox fan turned on. What the fuck? You good? My fucking
Nice.
Kek box. This
Oh,
is
hell yeah.
dying. I just got it like 2 years ago. Kek box. It might as well be at this point, man. I'm starting a console war in my comment section. Don't worry. I dislike both platforms equally.
Jesus. Man, I miss the damage numbers from Iceborne.
Gonna take me seriously.
Because Iceborne's
So I don't
damage
do
numbers are
console
so good,
wars,
you
alright?
could randomly
I'm
like
too
pick
grown
up
for that.
like
I
a
say
1,000
this,
and
but I
shit.
still eat Lucky Charms, alright? And them shit's delicious, bro. I don't have any more Papa's biscuits.
Yeah, like,
Actually,
for right
wait,
now, if
there's
you're
some
listening to
back
this,
here. Man, Jesus Christ.
start talking about cereal and shit.
Ooh, pot broken.
I can
I don't
literally
think
start
that was
talking
me, I'm
about
not
like
sure, but-
fucking what is this? How I eat Fruit Loop. How I
There's
eat
no
like
way all three of these
Nutella
are
out of a
gonna hit.
bowl
There's
and
no
shit.
fucking way. Oh my god, I think I just received my luck buff. It's not even
So like,
money
if
yet,
nothing
right?
else,
Got my luck
at
buff.
least
Fuck, I missed.
maybe
Never mind, I
if
spoke
I'm
too
able to
soon.
pick up
Yo, he's
traction
been
on
drilling
YouTube,
lean for like 30
it'll
minutes.
pick up on Twitch
Oh,
as
fuck.
well.
I'm surprised this quest has been going on
But I
longer
can say I
than
mentioned
30
there are
minutes.
very
Man, we
different like
vibing,
types
man.
for
This
it.
is a chill hunt. We ain't speed running around here, all right? We're just enjoying the sweet slaughter of a Safi Jiva. All right, we're gonna
Should be
savor this
fun.
bad.
I fall asleep soon. I did.
Jiva's
Have
mouth
fun.
tastes
Take
like?
care.
It looks edible.
Have a good
It
sleep.
looks edible. Damn, that was right in the Xeno Jussie, right? Oh shit.
Alright,
Oh, Oh, Wolf, no! We got one more feint. Don't leave, Wolf. It's okay. Shit happens, man. Dude, my frame rate is like gone, dude. Holy shit.
Dude,
that shit went to Hades,
this
bro.
arch tempered. But this is still a high rank quest. It's not even like a master rank quest.
Mantle's gone.
Lesson!
I know that for sure. You could have gave me that, man. Increase the hitbox size. Yes, I know the game is old.
From what I understand, it's easier to grow on YouTube than Twitch. Yeah, no doubt. Twitch is a tiny ass platform. So if you ever want to grow on Twitch, you need like YouTube.
Flies are high today.
That's like one of the things that a lot of people do. That's why
I
most
just love when
people
the handler
who have
talks.
grown like a good amount in like a
Am I
short
the
time
only
have
one?
YouTube.
I can't see shit.
That
What
or
the
pure
fuck?
luck.
You can mount
like
this?
Assy. I don't know if Baka
What?
has a channel.
This shit does not look submissive and mountable. I guess you can't judge a book by its
But
cover.
I want to make stuff on YouTube.
What the fuck? I just lost my level 3 out
Just
of
for
nowhere.
like,
I run out of
I guess
stamina? It's the fucking Jimmy
more
Dean
interaction. I
sausage
guess
bitch fucking with my
so like
my
people who can't catch my streams. For people who can't catch my streams, I think watching short parts of it on YouTube are much better. From what I know as well, a lot of people can't actually sit through like long ass streams. Like there's you guys, there's people like me who like sit through streams. I'll watch VODs and stuff if I'm ever there. But it's very different for like some people don't like long form content, which I mean I don't blame them. I prefer long form content just because I like having background noise, and as long as the background noise doesn't keep changing every 10 minutes, it's all good. It's why I'll drop in a stream as long as I know it's not gonna end. I just like sit in there until the end. Just forward people from YouTube to your Twitch, and hopefully some of them stick around. Yeah, basically, right? Basically, any of that don't drop by Twitch, there's at least still YouTube going on for me, which will still be fun. So the moment I start YouTube as well, my streams on Twitch will basically get like half. So if I am doing like daily streams on Twitch, it basically comes down to like 3 to 4 streams a week instead. Because I'll spend the other few days like recording videos for YouTube instead. That plus, if I'm going to start working, it may drop even more. So maybe I'll have like 3 YouTube videos a week plus like 3 streams a week or something like that. And then I'll just like have like one day where I just chill or something. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm working. Yeah, I'm not working yet, dude. I'm still like technically like doing practice school under my college. So I'm done with work through college like next month, like around this time. So for a month after that, I'm free, and then I graduate. And after I graduate, I basically have to like get a job. So if I start YouTube before then, I can try to figure out a schedule, and then when I actually get a job, I'll just say, yeah, these are my times. I'll be busy then. I'll be busy during this time. Outside of this, I'm all good. I have one more year left. Yeah, I'm almost done, dude. I'll graduate like in 2 months, right? I graduate in 2 months. I'm done with work next month, and then like a month after that, I graduate, which will be convenient. I'm working and streaming 4 days. Dude, I'm working as well, but my work right now isn't like, I won't say strenuous. Strenuous? Yeah. So there's then. It's not like high octane work. So I can like stream as well. I'm still left like, you can see my face, dude. I look fucking exhausted for the most part. But that's because my entire sleep is kind of sort of affected by like work timings, and I can't sleep early. I can't sleep early. Even if I'm not live right now, I'll still stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning. I won't do anything. I won't interact with people. I'll just be online. I'll have streams open. Whether or not I'm listening to streams is like a different thing. I'll just have streams open for background noise until I go to sleep at like 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning. That's just how my routine goes. And then I wake up at like 8 in the morning. So I get like what? Like 3 to 4 hours of sleep. And then I get like 3 to 4 hours. I mean, like 2 to 3 hours of sleep again in the afternoons for the most part. So that's then. But yeah, speaking of which, I basically woke up like an hour before Steam today. And then I took a shower. My brother was in the fucking
I
toilet the
say
entire
this,
time
but
though.
Livio has on Safi Tivo.
What are they fighting?
Cannon. He already beat
Oh,
the
that's
damn
bad, I
game. Why did he
forgot.
call us in here for? Maybe he just wanted to hunt with the homies. I can't blame him. Oh my god, I'm sitting in this lean. What did I hit, dude?
So
There's
yeah.
so much like
The issue with the
ancient
Monster Hunter
Lusciosity in my
streams,
face.
I think
Yo,
so like
these
for
fucking
people who like
Jarvis are
watching
beating my
Monster
ass.
Hunter,
Livio,
it's
run!
very
Get down
satisfying.
here. I got you, homie. This was
For
probably one of the
people
best
who don't,
crossovers
I
they
guess
had,
the
man.
different
This
issue.
shit was insane.
But you can
Like, it had
definitely
its own
watch.
quest,
You can definitely watch this,
story
especially when it's
behind
cut
it,
content like
you
this.
know? We get to see Geralt's old thick ass. More like in the flush, because I still didn't finish that game. Bro, every time I start Witcher 3, I flush that bitch 2 days after.
Bro, I haven't fucking
It
played
just
Witcher
won't
since
stay
then as
down,
well.
Man. It won't stay down. Sorry, Witcher.
What is my
enjoyers,
YouTube
man, but I can't play
recommended?
that game. The combat is weird.
Creatures of Sonaria. How did this get recommended to you? How? What? There's no way. How did you find this? No, I'm gonna get like recommend from this dude as well. What am I looking at? I'm doing giveaway for mystery creature. Like other giveaways, subscribe. Click on that bell. What the fuck is happening here? People are actually playing the game. The fuck? I've never seen this game as well. There's so many people playing it. What the fuck? Alright. Kinda stupid. How? Yeah, I don't know what the game is. I don't know how that came already recommended. Like, at all. Makes no sense. Even Chris expects PewDiePie to be in Trash Days. Alright, PewDiePie went to Japan, right? Should be interesting to see.
I was going to do it for the your 2-year anniversary of Trash Days in June. I don't know.
It was old video with 500 views and my recommended now too. Nice.
The episodes aren't
Nice.
telling of when.
At most I get like 2-year-old videos, but those are like Charlie's podcasts and stuff. How did I fucking destroy my recommended? I don't know what you started watching, Romy. I'll assume you left your YouTube on autoplay.
Who's the guest?
I'll assume you left your YouTube on autoplay. And at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night or some shit, some weird shit start playing.
It's very obviously it's pretty big.
Is that safe to assume?
Yeah, sure.
Will you tell me if I guess it?
Sure.
Is it Ludwig?
Well, no, he's not in Japan.
I thought you were leaving Japan.
Yeah, we are, but like the guests in Japan, like it's very obvious because people just came here who are our friends. Who came, so yeah, to be honest.
Oh, PewDiePie.
No, don't say that because people are getting excited. We haven't had
PewDiePie, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No.
We haven't had PewDiePie.
Who else is it? Who else is that? Oh.
No, it's Nemo just got here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I wish.
Dude, I'm sure PewDiePie is open. I'm sure he's open for doing it. I'm sure he wouldn't mind at all. Like he'll probably like be open for it. Blades of the Guardians official trailer. Is this a game? No, it's a fucking anime. It's an anime. I thought it was a game. Yo, I want to find like another game. I'm not sure if I can like play Final Fantasy that much more because I kind of got bored with the game. Like the story gets good, no doubt, but I think the beginning is way too long and boring. So they'll see. That never happened to me. Oh, that's interesting then. He said it'll be on episode 69 or never. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Classic PewDiePie, I guess. I made this video. Driving in Japan.
I'm going to rent a car today. I'm kind of terrified. I've never driven here before. I just thought it would make it easier for me and Marcia to set up a lot of things, to have a car. Usually when you're in Japan, you're like, there's a couple foreigners here and there, like tourists, but I'm the only one. There's no tourists whatsoever. I feel very out of place.
Ogle, oh shit, I didn't even like see Gfuel's redeem. I did not even see Gfuel's redeem. Wait. Man, is Gfuel still here? I don't think he's still here. Oh, he's not here. Dude, I don't know why no one even mentioned it. Dude, you know what I should do? Every single time someone redeems something, I should make people like straight up just like use the auto gacha in the process as well. Just so I know that there's like a redeem.
I think that's
I'll get someone to do it. What redeem? Toggle Breed and Cam and PNG
So
Tuber. I don't think he's here anymore.
I got the
Like,
car.
I guess
I'm so scared.
refund him.
I'm terrified.
And I'll do it some other time.
He did not speak English very well, and I speak no Japanese, but we managed to get by. He helped me set up the navigation. It's not a long ride, so I should be fine, but I am a little scared. I'm like, do I drive on the left side or the right side? I can't remember. Oh god. I did it! Holy shit. I'm so happy. That was so fun. I don't know, I was so nervous, and now that I've done it,
Done?
I feel
Thanks,
amazing.
Romy.
I'm so glad. That was so cool. The roads are so pretty. Nothing like driving in London. Oh, I'm so happy. Definitely worth it. It's the ugliest car I've ever seen, but I'm fucking thrilled. That's
Bro,
great.
I remember.
I've been practicing Japanese, but I don't.
So I was born in the US, right? I stayed there for like about 3 years, and I came back. I lived here for about a year, and then my brother was born. And 2 years after my brother was born, we went back to the US for about a year. Then we came back, and then we went again when my brother was 4. So basically, we came and went back like 3 times. Right now, this story from the second time my brother was born, basically. So we go back to the US. My brother's like a fucking infant, right? Like he's wrapped up like in like a blanket and shit. So like I forgot that he exists like as a person. Because as a child, you don't have object permanence. Permanent. What is that? Which word is it? One or two. Right. So my brother's there in the front. I'm assuming my mom's holding him or something. I'm there and sitting in the back seat. My dad's there. We go to the US. And like naturally, since we moved back to India, we don't have our what do you say, like our car in the US. We sold it because we just like got the car to India, right? We got like another car in India basically. So we had to rent a vehicle. Now the vehicle we rented, for whatever reason, had a bro. This is fucking Rihanna. Who made that Umbrella song? Yeah, it's Rihanna. Right, so fucking Rihanna's song. They had only this album on that vehicle. This was the only album on that car for some reason. So every once in a while, I would hear this song. And apparently, I used to get like fucking hyper every single time I heard this song because it sounded so jank. All I did was just like say, I'm not going to sing along, dude. I don't want to do it again. That's fucking cringe. But yeah, apparently I used to like listen to that song a lot. So my parents basically like put that song on loop. They keep reminding it to me to this day. I'm like, bro, please. I don't even listen to like people sing these days. Like at most, maybe if someone's doing karaoke and if I want to because I like them. But no, please, not like this.
I don't know anything, but I know.
But yeah,
I
was
knew
pretty
enough
jank.
to understand.
I know.
it,
I
and it made
randomly
so
remember
much
that
easier,
from
so
like a
I'm
rental
so
vehicle.
glad I've done that, but I definitely need to learn more. Holy shit! I did it. Killed it. Yeah, you should. It's the worst car ever made. Yeah. Yeah.
What is
what's
this?
that car?
Bro, it's from Roblox. Bro, this is Roblox ass looking car. Pants reminding you of cringe, dude. True.
For a month.
Bro, when I was a kid, dude, my parents stopped buying like medicinal syrups for me. Like even as a kid, I had to start taking tablets because so when I was a kid, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was like a certain cough syrup called either it is called T-monic or like Trimonic or something of the sort. I forgot what the entire thing. I forgot what the chemical itself was, but there was a syrup, right? It was like a little bottle with like an orange syrup, and it was basically like thick orange juice without any pulp, and I liked the flavor of it. So even if I didn't have a cough, I would straight up just like start like taking like shots out of the fucking, the measuring cup that they give with those syrup bottles. I just like keep drinking that shit. My parents were like, yeah, we're not getting this for you anymore. I was like, fuck, not like this. So I had to start taking tablets whenever I got sick. So I just stopped getting sick at some point, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. Now imagine having to take tablets. I got so annoyed,
Can't take
like
off
as a
without
kid.
the keys. We're going on a car ride. It's
Like
so
over time, I
fun
got used to it.
driving.
But back
Once
then,
I
it
got
was
my
kind of jank.
driver license at 18 again. But I got my buddy with me. Yeah.
Bunny.
We're going to go to.
I was just like medicine that tasted great without being sick. Yeah, I used to like fake coughs and stuff until my mom caught on.
Hitting people.
Dude, if it tasted good, I'd take it, man. Like what the hell? Like who doesn't like sweet things?
Maya's killing it. Look at you.
I guess like people who have like heavy migraines and stuff, but I don't really
Yeah.
know anyone else who doesn't like sweet stuff.
Okay, so cut to us like 3 years ago. We went to this temple and we left one of our cats and we wrote our names on it. So obviously we gotta see if we're still there. Come on, come. We looked online and it's okay to bring dogs as long as they don't go inside. Even though this is a cat temple, is this appropriate now that I think about it? This is insane.
Brought dogs to a cat temple.
What do
Nice.
you think, Maya? Is it cool? I guess they knew we brought dogs. It's closed down.
Man, it's gonna be sad if
But I don't think we're gonna find it along here. So
Maya, like what do you say, passed away. Like she's already like so old, right?
Definitely recommend checking out once they reopen.
Like it apparently like hurts like whenever she moves and stuff. Her feet like literally like ache all the time.
I did not.
I mean, there's like a whole video he spoke about all this. Pretty sad.
Look at this tower of cardboard.
That's not a
Oh
tower.
my
I have
goodness.
more. I
I
had
think
more
it's
when I
very
was back in.
different here.
What are you talking about, PewDiePie?
I mean, it's still the same at the end of it, but we missed last week's collection day, so we just collected so much, and they want you to tie it all up, which, to be honest, I find very satisfying. Like just holding
That's pretty cool.
it. Like,
Yeah, you can like transport it easier,
I
right?
don't know if you have to do this, but like milk cartridges, you're supposed to wash them and
What?
let them dry. We gotta learn these things. Yeah. That's a lot
Mail
of cardboard, I'm
cartridges?
sorry, whoever has to collect.
What are
them.
those? Nice.
Today,
Dude, I've never heard of a mail
I'm going
cartridge.
to
I don't know what
see,
that is.
Joey, the anime man, and we're gonna check out some arcades. He asked me what the first thing I want to do is, so you gotta check out the arcades. I'm very excited. Joey, the mad lad, starts off with 2 fucking
Bro. Nice. Milk. Oh. Milk.
Oh,
I heard
okay.
mail. I was like, what is
Alright.
a mail cartridge? Milk cartridge makes sense.
What a form. Oh, you have to go for a strike.
Gutter. Gutter. This dude, I'm deaf, man. I'm deaf, draw me. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. He actually did. Nice, Pog you.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's fucking go. Alright, so Joey won the first one, but I won the real challenge. The photocopy. Where's your reward, Joey? It's our. How? How does that work? No.
Okay, comrade.
I'm going in on my own. Our free reward. Might say don't get jealous. Hurry, hurry, hurry! Oh! How does it look here? What is that?
Oh, nice.
Oh god. One last one.
One last one. What do you want to do?
Nice, he just dropped it.
Yes! Sorry, I just went for it.
Nice. Nice.
That's beautiful. I'll see this.
Dude, I have one picture like that. I have one picture like that with like a friend from college. That's it. Oh, nice.
They're so
Missed both. It's pretty cool though. That looks so cool.
Remember all these things that we did, Joey?
That's pretty cool, dude.
That one's super fun.
Gauge, alright. Alright, Gomi. Imagine not wanting to be picked up in the arms of someone else.
Keep shooting! Keep going!
Bro, I hate this game. I never understood it. I never understood this.
Alright, here we go, ready? Already.
The heck?
Come on! Yeah!
Nice.
Find a mask,
Dude, I used to play with this shit in fucking Chuck E. Cheese, dude. Being picked up by Pew is hell true, dude. That'd be an entirely different thing.
Fuck him up.
That'd be an entirely different kind of satisfying.
Yeah! Holy shit! Wow, you're like the anime man.
Nice.
Come on, Joey, don't
Good
fuck
job,
it.
dude. Good job.
Oh no! 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 He can't die, he's the protagonist. We got 413.
Just smash it through.
Come on! Come on, ball! Come on! Come on, ball!
Thanks for another plug for Kit Kat, Romy.
Oh my god! Come on! Keep going!
What is this? What the fuck is that?
Nothing's happening!
What is that?
The ball! Are we supposed to press? Oh my god!
Oh,
We got it! No!
what?
Wait, what happened? I think we missed it. All of that for nothing.
What?
Konnichiwa.
I'm so
Today
confused.
we're going
Man,
to
alright, Kira. Okay,
register
dude.
ourselves at the town hall. And we have to register our dogs as well. But I have a feeling this will be kind of difficult because we don't speak Japanese. This is insane. I think this is
It's not written in English though, so it's fine.
Is that the building? I'm squeezing every inch of my Japanese out to make this work.
Just go in. Watashi wa Nihongo desu or some shit like that. I don't know. He doesn't know yet, true. I like how he just like they straight up like moved to Japan. Like it's not really like a vacation thing. They straight up moved
So
to Japan.
like we Google online what you need and it doesn't say, but we're gonna go to 7-Eleven to try and print it because we have it. We just didn't have a physical copy of it. But they were super helpful otherwise, we can't complain. There it is. The rule of Japan. A 7-Eleven is always nearby.
Suki hype clap.
We're
Suki hype
officially
clap, man.
registered in Japan. It took a long time, but you know what? It didn't even matter. They were so nice and so helpful. Everyone is just so sweet. It was just amazing. I'm so impressed how they run everything. Even the dogs get registered, which is great.
Turn right.
So we're officially Japanese, right?
Wow.
That's not how that works. The guy said congratulations when we left. Though. It's so sweet. Oh yeah, look what we got you.
Nice. They got
She
an old
loves
baby carrot.
Now we're a real family. Do you like it, Maya? I feel like anywhere else we would feel silly right now, but since we're in Japan, Edgar still has to walk.
Dude, I like how
Also, for
empty
the
the
record,
roads
Maya is
look.
almost
It's
17
very different
years
like
old.
India. At least like
So
my city
she
is like
definitely
very
deserves
crowded
it.
everywhere for some reason.
You deserve some lamb too.
And, like people just straight up stopped wearing masks as well.
I'm an
Like,
old
no one really
man
cares.
as well. Alright guys, good night. Faster, Mom. Faster. How do I look?
Great.
How do they look? You having fun? We got a private jet for you. We got this thing for you. What else do you want? Are you okay in there?
Bro, it's actually crushing Maya's face for that.
I think she likes it in a weird way. Just wow. But look at what a baby.
Nice.
I love Japan, guys. It's so good over here.
But I'm started
Today
vlogging
we're
and
in,
stuff. I wonder how long you'll keep doing
I'm
this
not
for
used to
though.
seeing all the big buildings yet.
So it's
It's
like
not
one
even-
thing. I can watch this later as well. Esports Pro. Alright, I watched Charlie make a video on this like yesterday. It was so dumb. Like, dude, this is so dumb. So like for you guys who don't know this, or like people who haven't like watched Charlie's video on this, and like obviously don't watch this on like YouTube. This dude, I forgot. I actually don't know what game esports company it's from. But there is some team called SMG, which basically this dude got kicked out of. The reason being, his mom's health issue would affect him from playing the game, so they kicked him out of the team instead of doing literally anything else. I watched it today. Yeah, I watched it like earlier in the morning. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is so dumb. This is the dumbest thing I've seen my whole life. And yeah, I think they're getting like a massive amount of shit for it. But that's to be expected, man. That's to be expected. Dude, they're actually making guides for Dislight because Dislight grew so much. Dude, Dislight, I think it's going to kind of sort of become like Raid. I have a good feeling it may kind of be like Raid on a smaller scale. Like Raid Shadow Legends, I mean. Because they're also handing out sponsorships and all that left and right to people who, like, I can't get it because I'm not in the right countries for it, apparently. Apparently, hello, I was going to download the game and I spoke about it. But yeah, I can't get raid sponsorship either because I'm in India. So there's that. I mean, they'd probably reach out to me if I was bigger, but I can't get the sponsorship myself. So I know a bunch of people can because basically, like Steam Elements and Streamlabs has like a partnership page, like a sponsorship page where you can like look at sponsors and get sponsors. But I'm basically country locked. I'm like region locked from in. So unlucky, I can't do sponsorship streams. Which means, well, lucky for you guys, chat. You guys don't have to download raid challenges through me, which is, I guess, you'll probably install it through someone else. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Country locked, yeah. I wonder why, dude. I wonder why. There's like nothing open in India as well, so I literally cannot get sponsored streams ever. If anything, I like to actively reach out, like as I was living in YouTube in like the old days to get some sort of sponsorships. But I still don't think my channel is that big enough yet. Like maybe if I after like I hit 1,000 follows, or if I'm able to get in like at least like 15 or 20 viewers on average, that should be good enough. But that's also kind of like a long thing, which I don't think will happen for like a long while. Damn, I'm getting a lot of these. That's interesting. Dude, XQC started playing fucking Clash Royale on Steam. I'm like, what are you doing? Why did you start playing Clash Royale? I don't understand. But bro, it is so dumb. It's so dumb watching. Look at this. Look at this. He straight up just plays it for hours. Look at this chat, man. Chat is a fucking Omega lols and everything. Yeah, I don't know why he stopped playing Clash Royale. Pretty funny. Yo, Zach Roar! Short haired Asmongold. The disturbing fall of YouTube's creepiest kid. I played it back in high school. I played it like when I was younger as well. I played it when I was back in school as well. Yeah, high school or something as well. Like basically when I released, I didn't play it in the beginning, but at some point I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it out. Beast reacts most unusual.
I paid someone to scan the entire planet and find the weirdest houses in existence. We want wacky houses. This house is made of Legos. This house is edible. This house just looks stupid. Idiot. We're gonna kick off the unusual house list with this upside down house.
That is a little wacky, Jimmy. Wait a minute. Whoa! I thought it was a normal house, but then they flipped the camera.
The entire house is upside down.
Alright. So Mr. Beast's energy is very different. Who was the dude on the side?
It's like that room we built for that little escape room video, but way cooler.
That's pretty cool.
Surprisingly harder than you'd think to drill a bed into the ceiling.
Oh, wow. Look at that. He flips the camera upside down.
Bro, he had zero energy. I just watched this video. It came out like 8 minutes ago. It literally just came out.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up, Dave. Looks like he's holding on for dear life.
Wait a minute.
What?
How do you get to the door? Question science can't answer.
Skate park house.
Oh my god.
Everything is a skateboard ramp in his house. That's
But
sick.
why? Question. Why don't you own that?
Because I have a child.
Just teach him how to skate. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What does that look like to you?
It's a rock.
No, this is the most unusual houses.
That's a house? Well, it's lumpy.
They built it to look like it's part of the 4 stones it's surrounded by.
It kind of just looks like somebody was just like, with a bunch of rocks. It was like, there's a house.
Dude.
Hey, it's got windows.
basically.
Moving at 5
I was
frames
more
a second.
dropped.
I
They had
said
like
we have the most
7K views
unusual
then.
houses.
Oh, alright.
I
Interesting.
meant it. You want to know what's even more
I don't
unusual?
follow Mr. Beast.
What? This
I
church
don't
that
follow
was
Mr.
turned
Beast
into
at
a
all.
house.
The opposite room only be reached via a
So like if I see
slack line.
videos,
Yeah, you know, building stairs is a little too much effort.
And this is his favorite way to round off the day.
What is with everyone having weird homes and skating? This is the up house in real life.
They made a movie about this house.
They did.
Wait, where's the balloon?
what does that dude's hair?
That's so cute. Not to spoil a main channel video, but I'm currently rebuilding this. That's all I can say. It's a replica of the White House.
I'm gonna go ahead and guarantee it that this was for filming the movie with Denzel Washington where the White House gets attacked.
This Texas mansion takes the cake.
Wait, what are they gonna do with the cake?
Where are they taking the cake?
I didn't know there was gonna be cake.
Why did he take my cake?
Why is the White House pink? This is a pink house, not a White House.
Now why is it white?
I can't watch this. I cannot watch it. I don't know why I can't. I just straight up cannot. Elden Ring feels like the end. Dude, I watched one of this dude's videos earlier. I watched like the Dark Souls 3 one. I actually enjoyed it. This is pretty good. This is the Elden Ring one. So let's see how this one is. I like this guy's video.
Hello?
Yeah, and or I didn't.
Cobbler, are you there? I'm coming in. Holy shit, you're alive? Yeah. I'm honestly sort of shocked. Where's the next video? Later. Review the game, Cobbler. Oh, you want a review? Fine, here's your fucking review. It's Dark Souls but bigger and is therefore awesome 10 out of 10. That's not a review. Like, do a video. Do a real video. God, the amount of bare feet he managed to shove into this one is really next level. He's really outdone himself.
This video is
Make
not
a
very
video.
entertaining, I think.
Just
I
let
don't
me have
enjoy it as
fun.
well.
Like this.
I think his content is geared towards kids or people who just like watching like happy-go-lucky content instead. So I don't really watch it. Like the only reason Mr. Beast pops up in my recommended is because people like what do you say XQC react to his stuff. And it's literally only because XQC reacts to his stuff. So more than like children oriented content, I just like watching like random shit. Right. So I know what he's doing, and I know it works because his audience will watch it regardless. His audience will no doubt watch it because there's so many more kids on YouTube. Right. But I can't watch it because I don't have fun watching it. Every once in a while there'll be a video, I'm like, alright, let's watch this. And then I'll be like, alright, this kind of stupid. So like I haven't subscribed to any of his channels. Like dude, you can see like the channels I subscribe to, right? I watch these guys like almost daily. Then like what Nux obviously every single day. John Tron is pretty good. They don't upload a lot. MMO Byte, I get fucking MMO news from a random like Vivzy Pop is the one where we watched Has Been Hotel and stuff from. That was also pretty fun. These are all like VTubers. Oh, I see Aurelia here. But I just follow all the homies because I'm not a dick and I follow people who are cool. Poke sub, dude. Imagine not being subscribed to Poke lols. Yeah, we got Geo CHR here. Imagine not being a Geo sub as well. But we got Soup here. What a fucking geeky chat. I love this man as well. Dude, Assy, the funny thing is, he actually had videos on YouTube and then he was like, oh, fuck it. And almost all his videos, oh shit, they removed them. Fuck, he straight up removed all of them. He used to have a lot of Genshin videos. I think he removed all of them. Now he has Punishing Grey Raven. Now the funny thing is, he doesn't even play Punishing Grey Raven anymore. He basically stopped at the same time as this, which I think is pretty funny. But yeah. These are the people I follow. And if it's like one thing you can see, I either follow VTubers or I follow people who are like a very different. It's not, basically not Mr. Beast vibe.
He's really
not a
outdone
Mr.
himself.
Beast vibe.
Make a video.
But like the
Just let
people I
me-
usually watch are if I'm on YouTube, I jump to like XQC, Asmin, Charlie, Nux, Poke. If these guys release videos, I'm watching it. Oh yeah, some more in the game as well. No doubt. These are go-tos. If I see random other ones pop up, I'll watch it. Like Cinnamon Toast Ken, PewDiePie, and all these as well. I'll watch them whenever I see them. Because I think these are things I can watch for the most part. PewDiePie as well. I won't sit through all his videos, but I sit through at least 90% of them. Like, if it gets a very, I would say monotonous, or like I can see like how the entirety of the video plays out, I wouldn't watch it. But I watch stuff like Cinnamon Toast Ken's because there's always some weird fucking shit to react to. So I just find weird stuff from there. I think I watch more Twitch content on YouTube than actual YouTube content. Yeah, exactly. Most of the stuff I watch is stream content, right? That's literally all XQC and like Charlie's and like Asmin's content is. The only non-stream content I watch is like again PewDiePie and like Cinnamon Toast Ken and like most I guess some more in the game as well. But yeah, even Nuxtaku's like content right now is like basically Twitch, right? Like even if he's not streaming it, he does it in the same way a streamer would, just without a chat, right? But yeah, long form content is like one thing I've learned to like pick up on. I can't go for short bursts of energy, which is like it just like makes you hyped for absolutely nothing, like Mr. Beast videos. So there's that. I get some people like it, but that's also because it comes down to like a specific person's mindset when it comes to like watching videos like these, right? So I'll say this because the same people who watch these videos also can't watch my content Because my content, I drag on for like hours on end. So people who like vibing will vibe. But people who want like that burst of energy, they want like a burst of like fucking, I don't know, dopamine, I guess. If you actually get dopamine out of watching Mr. Beast videos, you can. I don't. I don't think a lot of you guys who watch me do either from watching it. Like I know for sure even Sam and all these guys don't watch Mr. Beast. That's why he's like on Twitch a lot more and watches like VTubers and streams instead. There's then. There is that whole thing.
We have fun. Like this is as good as it's gonna get. Like this Call of Duty franchise, Ghosts, and the world stops to watch.
That's it!
Because of course they did.
Yeah. Thing is, when I'm making stuff on YouTube, I'll have to keep all of the 10 minutes interesting, at least for the most part. I can't have like random silence like I do now, and I also can't do react content on
traditionally World War II setting of the franchise to the modern day. And it should really be understood just how many goddamn World War II shooters there were back when they did this. The aptly titled Call of Duty Modern Warfare was bold. Can you imagine that? Call of Duty being bold? It was shocking. This was 2007. The height of Raytheon's profitability. I mean, the war on terror. And yet a video game was set in the Middle East, showcasing urban combat and detonating nuclear bombs in your fucking face. This striking setting, whether you considered it poignant or tasteless, paired with a fast-paced and addictive multiplayer component, fired the franchise into the stratosphere. Call of Duty was no longer another World War II shooter. It was a monolith of modern conflict-based entertainment. The Call of Duty games ruled the 6th generation of consoles with an iron fist. Woe be to the game which intruded
I
upon
haven't
its
played
release
beyond
window.
Modern Warfare 3. I played at Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3.
But of course,
That's
time did that most
I
terrible
stopped playing
thing it does and
Hard
passed
then.
cruelly onward. The question began to arise as to what was next. Call of Duty had stagnated, but it sort of had to. What else could they do but stagnate? They
Dude,
kept
but I
selling,
feel like all
so
these
why-
games are the same, man. You're just shooting. You're just shooting, right? Like, what else are you doing?
They
I played the original COD 2 and Modern Warfare 1, that's it. Alright. Yeah, they're all the same game, though. Like, honestly, I don't see a fucking difference in any of them. They're like, oh, the graphics, dude. I'm like, you're holding a gun. The guns look the same unless you're changing the type of gun you're holding. What else? What graphics? Maybe textures? What do you want? Dude, who cares? You're just shooting someone else. You're not going to observe your scenery, man.
I'm going to try to get to it as fast as possible.
I don't know.
I think everyone was expecting us to play it safe this year and simply make Call of Duty.
I can understand Halo and stuff because Halo
we
has like
didn't
better
wanna do the safe
environments.
thing.
But like
We wanted to do the
Horde,
right thing.
Counter-Strike and
Call
all
of
that
Duty
stuff's very
Ghosts
boring
is the
and
most
drab.
fascinating video
Graphics,
game
dude, people are on
unveiling
so much
ever.
hope when
No
playing
other
FPS
game
games.
will ever be in this position. The purpose of a showcase is naturally to get the unwashed horde of gamers to take notice with something big or beautiful or anime. But,
bro,
I mean, like, how do you sell
Bruh.
a new Call of Duty game? What do you even do with Call of Duty? How do you get gamers' attention, save for adding, of course, a tactical best girl airstrike? The immediate answer is, they were not selling the new Call of Duty. That shit sold itself. They had to sell the VCR and the NSA camera combo pack.
Yeah, basically.
Ghosts
People
was
will buy
revealed
anything, man.
on
People will buy anything as long as I like
Microsoft's
brand.
Stage. They took up 10
I'd rather
minutes
play
of the
COD
Xbox
2
One
for the
reveal.
10th time
It sort of was
or any of the
obligated
new ones. It makes
to
sense.
look pretty.
Dude,
but
like,
pretty takes
I'll be honest. If anyone ever pressurizes me into like playing FPS again, I don't mind playing Black Ops 2 or Zombies, or Modern Warfare 3, because once again, all three of them are the same game, but I enjoyed like the gun game mode in, I forgot which game gun game was there. I think it's there in all three. I'm not sure, but dude, gun game was fucking hilarious. Zombies with Nya, dude. I mean, yeah, sure. If Nya gives me zombies, oh man. Wait, I don't think Zombies has the gun game now I think about it. It may. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been like fucking years, man. Right? But gun game was fucking hilarious because I could just like randomly get like a knife, right, at some point. So sniping and knives I think are like pretty easy to do. Like you can literally program a bot to like snipe for you. That's what Team Fortress 2 has going on for them right now, right? You have like actual bots filling in queues filled with snipers, just like sniping people who want to play the game and shit.
Time. It only had a 2-year development cycle, and it was not
And
only
melee combat is
launching on the
obviously
hot
better than
new
like
7th gen hardware,
so
but
I
also
like knives.
still the 6th gen hardware.
Yeah, just
Ghosts
go
occupied a
bot
very
bar? Yeah, it's
particular
like overdone by
space,
bots.
which no game has occupied before nor since. It needed to not change at all, because they sorta had a good thing going, to put it lightly, but it also had
Why?
to prove that it was more advanced than its predecessors because of new technology. Also, it still had to be able to run on the old technology. Alright, let's just see what the Xbox 360 was working with, and they're fucked. So, they showed off a dog.
He does everything from sniffing out explosives to protecting the team.
They talked about the groundbreaking dog technology.
Okay,
They also
dude.
showed
Yeah.
off some fairly impressive fish technology.
Fish move out of the way when you get close to them.
Wow.
Move out of the way when you get...
This was all memed on.
Nice.
Very hard, and frankly, this was unwarranted. Oh, you kids now, you're spoiled with tessellated terriers and ray-traced Rottweilers. But this was the most advanced digital dog we had seen up to that point. Digital dog tech was still in its infancy, you gotta remember. Call of Duty
The dog
did
stuff,
not
I think, was,
change,
I
but
guess,
they had
interesting.
to show something that justified a VCR. So they showed off a fucking dog. Because it was safe, it was appealing, it was fun, and it changed nothing. It was useless. Showing the dog was not a foolish choice made by idiots. It was a safe choice made by idiots.
Wait, sorry.
Okay, I don't see what that has to do. It's June 14th, 2015.
Wait, isn't this supposed to be an Elden Ring
Todd
video?
Almighty takes the stage to show off the much anticipated...
Isn't this supposed to be an Elden Ring video? Why are you talking about Horde? Oh, Fallout.
Fallout didn't used to be a massively anticipated mainstream series, as it started its life with Interplay as a more cerebral, albeit often goofy, isometric, classic RPG. The rights to the franchise were bought by Bethesda when Interplay went belly up in 2004, because all those things that I said are gay.
5 million.
I want to kill Browns in Call of Duty. Bethesda rescued this beloved cult classic franchise, cut off its face, and began wearing it all around town with the release of Fallout 3. Bethesda, when it bought Fallout, had already achieved mainstream success with Morrowind and Oblivion, which were not like the crusty CRPG Fallout, but were instead exciting open-world adventures, which were much more approachable and don't make internet desserts cry. So the move with Fallout 3 was as obvious as it was horrifying to fans of the classic Fallouts. Make Oblivion with guns. A gory, dusty, and delightful romp. Fallout 3 was approachable and intuitive and open and buggy, really buggy, but it still won a big new mainstream audience.
Nice.
Then, many of the former developers of the
I love
original
Oblivion.
Fallout, now at Obsidian, got to make a
You're
Fallout
like a 5 or
spin-off,
6 time, wrong.
pairing
Take your
the
time.
slicker
I'll be on
presentation
until
of
this video
Fallout
gets
3
over
with
anyway.
mechanical and
Like,
narrative depth
well,
of the
more than 6
originals.
minutes.
Fallout New Vegas is now regarded as one of the greatest RPGs of all time. I hate Fallout New Vegas fans. All of them. I shit on the main factions once, and now they keep throwing flaming estrogen pill bottles through my window.
Nice.
Holy shit, get a job! So, after Skyrim was a monster hit, people were chomping at the bit to see the newest installment of the Fallout franchise. And what did Bethesda show off? Dog. Look at this dog. 1 minute of the 35-minute world premiere of Fallout 4 is spent on the dog technology.
And yes, you can give the dog commands by simply pointing at things in the environment.
What's up, Jamma? Welcome to stream, dude. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you're doing
Why
great.
would they do that, you ask? Well, because the big new selling point was building houses.
If you ever get a chance to work on a video game, work on a Fallout.
How's it going? Oh, look, yeah, thanks so much, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I was chilling. We were watching like
$60, please,
Prime in the
and
beginning.
thank you.
We
Fallout
haven't
4
switched
is
to
the
memes,
result
and now we're
of a
watching
building
this.
full of talented, passionate, and hardworking people.
I think it's supposed to be an Elden Ring review. He started talking about Horde, and now he's talking about Fallout 4. So there's that. But yeah, take your time, dude. Take your time as well.
Banging their heads into their keyboards in absolute frustration for
Dog
5
technology.
years. Because they've realized...
Grab that.
Wow.
Broke new ground!
There is nowhere left to go with Fallout. That's why it feels the way it does, and why no one talks about it anymore. What do you do with Fallout 4 that has not been done? They'd made the Bethesda RPG Fallout. Obsidian had made the RPG nerd Fallout. There was nothing left to do. Alright, so 2 doesn't make a pattern. It's May 28th, 2021. Ubisoft uploads a gameplay reveal for Far Cry 6, which shows off all the new weapons. Horse, dog. So every game with a dog is out of ideas then. That's what you're saying? No. Showing off a dog in the marketing for a game is what they do when they have nothing left. Showing the dog is the game franchise equivalent of jumping the shark. Adding a dog to a game? Sure, whatever. That's fine. Who cares? That's my point. Who cares? Ghost sales were considered disappointing, which really just means that Bobby Kotick only got to buy one yacht off the back of that game, but still. Oof. Future Call of Duty entries tried to evolve the franchise into more of a movement shooter, and people, they fucking hated that, so they rebooted Modern Warfare and Black Ops, and have returned to the World War II setting, ironically, considering their becoming a monumental success, was in large part due to the fact that they left that shit behind them. Fallout 4 was a huge financial success, and Bethesda wants nothing to do with it now. Oh, what about Fallout 76? Yeah, that's why they did that. They weren't going to touch the franchise again for over a decade, because they had done everything they could already.
I think I've
so
seen
they burned it down with a half-finished game, which would convert the fan goodwill that they had no use for into cold, hard cash. I'm going to give you a very bitter pill to swallow. Bethesda doesn't want to make Fallout games. No one wants to make Call of Duty either, but Bethesda, they can just stop making Fallout games. Like, they got other shit going on. Obsidian can't. May God have mercy on their souls. And Far Cry 6 is a Far Cry game, so I feel like I don't even have to say anything as far as like stagnation is concerned. It's a Far Cry game, but however, it's also set on a tropical island. So they've even ran out of fucking settings. If the marketing people behind a new entry in an old franchise take the time to show off a fucking dog, then that franchise is over the hill.
I know Far Cry 3 was good from like what I've heard.
It'll probably continue to make money, but it will no longer matter. The best it can hope for is a ghoulish cash grab,
I didn't know if 5 and 6 came
return to form, which is to say, shamelessly defiling the cadaver of our older games because we tried something new and no one liked it.
Now, Alan will demonstrate what having sex with a dead body might sound like.
Bravo 6, going dark.
Or, the worst fate of all, being a Far Cry game.
Dude, who made
he did the same
Far
joke
episode
about
7?
Man, I have to watch this show.
I don't think it's funny anymore.
The dog is inevitable. The logical conclusion of wringing every drop of life from a once interesting idea. It is where art goes to die, where rot rules and stagnation becomes standard. Its friendly canine face obfuscates a terrible truth. There is nothing left here. But when the idea wells run dry, there's another move. A desperate Hail Mary.
I wonder what Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be like. Because 1 was like insane, right?
Hey, fucko! Oh no, we need to trick people into buying our new Xbox, so what Halo ideas you got? Well, Halo's a bit difficult to work with. You got the fans on one side demanding nothing changes and ignoring the current gaming landscape and the fact that we're creatives who want to, you know,
dude, I don't think Halo fans want anything better.
Then, you know,
I think they're fine with their game. And they're like, they leave everything as is. That's how Destiny fans exist.
You're always very helpful, politely suggesting we try to appeal to a new generation, which will never love Halo. Wow. Okay. Negativity much? What do I always say about negative thinking? Negative thoughts are a fireable offense. That's right, bitch.
That's also what I mean.
Anyway,
right? People who play Halo, who have grown up playing Halo, will like the game. I don't think you can get new people into Halo. They're not gonna enjoy it.
Making a mountain out of a molehill. Halo is easy. Get some little green guys, put them on a grassy hill, let some fuckers shoot them, and then I make a lot of money. It's really quite simple. Why are you?
I guess I could say that for like most games,
it's
though.
Not simple though. Also, the guys
like
are
if you grow up
purple.
with games, you'll more
have
likely
you never
like them
played
more.
Halo? Of course not.
But if people won't like
I don't
them,
want the
that's a different
show to be spoiled for me. Bungie made 5 of these. They totally and completely explored and refined the formula over the course of half a decade. They left for a reason. There's nowhere to go with this.
Welcome back, Romy.
It's
Welcome
dead.
back.
You handed us the corpse of Michael Jackson and demanded we produce a hit record with him. If I hear one more independent and understandably negative thought from you, I will make you create Halo nuts and bolts. Please no. What did Bungie not do? Huh? Is there anything they never did which could evolve the formula? I guess there's always big Halo. Big Halo. What's that? You know, open world Halo. Open world games are huge right now, and we could act like it's an innovation. I mean, Zelda went open world, and you've played Breath of the Wild. Oh, no. I have sex. I've never played a game before. Well, Zelda was a classic franchise with a long, perfected formula. It was just sort of spinning its wheels, you know. And now people love it again. Going open world.
Dude, I had to make a fucking. What is this? What do you say? Make like a fucking slow clap emote or something. It'd be fucking funny to use. It'll be some sassy shit you can actually spam in channels.
Breathe new life into the franchise. But Mass Effect Andromeda. Listen, Mr. Microsoft, going open world is risky, but it's really the only thing we can do. Okay, would it be expensive? Unimaginably so. Yeah. Is there really nothing else you could do? I could finally work up the courage to kill myself. Okay, well, how much would that cost? Going open world is
Andromeda, oof.
It's gutsy. It's going all in. Throwing caution to the wind. If we throw enough money into the furnace, it'll start burning again. Just you watch. Going open world is simultaneously sort of a move of the desperate, but it also could be an inspired change. From Software's been making Souls games for over a decade now, and they're some of the best games ever made. These games remind me why I love video games. They're fun. They're smart, they're funny, they're tragic.
Hey, we watched this.
I watched where every game seeks to numb me with nonsense.
I watched this earlier today, not even yesterday.
Games strive to make me feel the thrill of victory and the crushing blow of defeat. Even Dark Souls 2 is a really good game. That one had a boss that was just a room full of skeletons. It sounds like I made that up. That sounds like such a half-baked, lazy idea that I just pulled it right out of my ass. But I didn't. That happened. Still good, though. Elden Ring feels like the culmination of over a decade of refinement, mixed with a world which must have been a Herculean undertaking to make. They went all out here. I put over 100 hours into this. Well over 100 hours into this.
Please don't tell anyone how I live.
I took
that's similar to my amount of hours I put into the game.
And it was pretty well spent. But
it's not too much.
It's
honestly not too much.
That this game, which is amazing,
was
the
good.
answer
It's pretty good.
to a pretty difficult question. What do you even do with Dark Souls? Make it big. They did that, and it is great, but it does not feel like a new beginning, but instead an end. With the exception of the incredible scale, this is a retread through and through. There is no shortage of great ideas in Elden Ring, but there's a severe lack of new ones.
Oh, I remember this. I remember this on stream.
I think it's one of the best games ever made. Partially due to that, it is the culmination of over a decade of refinement by one of the most talented AAA studios. It's big Dark Souls. But I can't shake the feeling that big Dark Souls might be one of the best things a game could possibly be. Elden Ring should be the end, a bombastic swan
Dude,
song to the souls.
So here's an issue with Elden Ring, right? Now that Elden Ring is out, there's so many games that want to be Elden Ring again, and it's so weird. Like, for example, so there's a game called Project Barbecue, which is basically, it was supposed to be like Discount Blue Protocol, where you had like massive open world, you had anime-esque fighting Dark Souls like bosses and shit. But after Elden Ring came out, they're like, all right, it's no longer going to be what it was. Now we're going to try to make it like Elden Ring, but anime. So they're going to make it anime Code Vein. I mean, they're going to make it like Elden Ring version Code Vein. But it's under a different company. So I don't think it's going to work out well, but we'll see. Now they basically had like trashed like 7 years of work to like restart, which is kind
An
of dumb.
absolute blowout masterpiece intended to send these ideas into the sunset, as From Software focuses on something new. Perhaps an anime visual novel where every character is afoot. What do you even do with Dark Souls?
What?
A series itself about entropy.
That's weird.
About letting things fade
Interesting, I
with a
guess.
calm acceptance. About powerful figures pushing you to a painful and almost impossible task. Saying it's in your best interest to accomplish it. But it simply isn't. So, it's pretty good. It's so good that I needed more time before I do a real review of it. I keep playing partially out of disbelief that I'm playing one of the best games ever made. Which, also, stop telling me to play Shadow Warrior 3. I'll check it out, but I'm in no rush. Like you're asking me to drop Mario 64 so I can see if the Bubsy 3D sequel is better than the last one. It probably is. And it's not hard to clear that fucking hurdle. I look forward to finding out, but come on. Elden Ring should be the end. From an artistic standpoint, that's what it is.
It actually is so good.
But it's
I
not
wonder how they're going
going
to top off Elden Ring.
This game has been
I don't know how they'll ever top off
monstrously
Elden Ring.
successful. And on one hand, they absolutely deserve that. No studio deserves success more. But on the other, there is a dog in the future. I'm sure of it. It's
Bruh.
the next step. I didn't care about Call of Duty. I didn't much care about Fallout either. And Far Cry has been dead to me for years. But watching From Software be broken by success is going to hurt. I've yet to meet a fire which didn't fade.
Pretty cool. That was fun. I had a good stream. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Alright, cool. I'll call it off here. Right, let's raid someone. Someone to raid. Like pretty slow day, but granted, I did start like an entire hour late.
I will soon.
I hope they don't go the usual route. I hope so too. Wow, okay, bye. People leave. Athena, what do you mean? It's 2:30 a.m. for me, lady. But yeah, welcome to stream. I guess hope we're doing good. Alright, let's find someone to raid. Who do we watch? Oh shit, you guys are making us
Do you really think so?
Nah, delete.
We could raid Staro.
Doesn't
get.
I'm basically a soldier. They've
How long has it been since we raided Staro? I'm not sure. Yeah, what's up, you know? I was thinking about. So I'm back. Oh shit, Jam, I'm ending. I'm ending, dude. It's 2:30 in the morning for me. I think Jelly is live, but I already Jelly lost. Why do I finish my lurk when you finish stream? Don't worry about it, dude. Dude, it's like 2:30 a.m. at the moment for me. Just subtract that from like your time zone. Trying to see why I'm ending. Oh shit, James is live. James is live. Hey, James.
Fuck the bitch, look the Barbie, chew my meat like beef jerky. In her ass like Thanksgiving turkey.
I like a bitch that has 4 extra servings.
Gotta watch out, demons always be lurking. White people in the water always be surfing.
And I get their daughters.
I need to spend time in your chat. Don't worry about it, dude. I mean, you can always drop by whenever. I'll stream again tomorrow. We'll have something. We'll stream again tomorrow. Right. But yeah. So I know I think you're most active like in the time zone when like Ghosty and all these guys go live, right? Ghosty, Ducky and all these guys. So yeah, don't worry about it. I appreciate like anyone stopping by though, for the most part. Like literally just people being here, I appreciate it. What's right? Alright, have this. Yeah. Not sure, dude. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Alright, cool. Let's go. And yoing some raid message. Let's go raid James. I don't raid James before because James usually streams like way after this. But Here's what it is. Oh yeah, that's about it. Hope you had fun watching this. Where it was. Some of the videos are good, some of the videos kind of don't. Some of the videos were... I mean, I guess not a lot of people like it. Let's rate that smelly apple guy. Apple is live. Oh, Apple is live. Dude, when was the last time I rated Apple? Do you want me to remember? Fuck, alright, wait. Let me see. How long has it been since we rated Apple? I think it's been a while. So, alright, cool. Let's rate Apple then.
Steven, fuck up, dropped up, pull up in crop top, in her mouth pop rocks, had to water her crops, she said she liked
Apple
it a
tea.
lot, had to water her crops, don't know when it's fucking
Alright, sounds good. We rate Apple then. It's been a hot minute. Who else is alive?
I made the NPCs run, so then you talk to me, you're done. Yeah, guys, look.
Dude, Taro as well, we rated Dinosaur recently, right?
You're dumb. Oh wait, you're dumb.
So then, it's fine, it's fine. Cool, we rated Apple. Alright, cool. Hope you guys had fun. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll stream, I'll do something tomorrow. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. We'll do something. Alright, cool. Once again, hope you guys have a great rest of your days, nights, whatever time of day it is for you guys. And yeah, that's about it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I don't know what we'll do tomorrow, but we'll see, right? Take care. Thanks so much for coming by. I appreciate each and every single one. But thanks, team. Thanks so much for coming by. And I'll catch you guys.
She fuck with me cause I'm valid. She don't fuck with you cause you flash it. Why the fuck my put in the salad? I just came with the flow. Christian Dio. She might not off the flow. I don't think I can love her no more. She biting my dick, she giving me rape. I'm calling for help, somebody come save me. Wait. Christian Dio. Get me take my dick out the store. When it rains it pours. She tried to suck me off, I'm like pause. She fuck with me cause I'm busted. In her stomach like rubber tussin. You be fucking with your cousin. I am the best, no discussion. My girl ass is my favorite question. Okay. I give your brain a concussion. I went from nothing to something. Lay it talk out like I'm Russian. She's sucking my dick, she be cousin. I remember at the Halloween party, I got you both with